What's happening, weirdos? This is a fun one, a silly one, a special one. This is Mary Elizabeth Kelly, who I discovered scrolling on the gram, and I'm actually going to show you the reel that I saw that I watched maybe 17 times in a row, crying with laughter. This is the reel. This is what introduced me to actor, writer, comedian, improviser, and all-around delight, Mary Elizabeth Kelly. Let's play it real quick.
Just noticed you haven't really done the dishes in a while. Just like,
Been pretty busy.
I ain't your mama, so get to scrubbing. So it's just starting to smell. Have you met Karen's boyfriend yet?
Yeah.
Bit of an ass. He's quite mean to me.
So did you end up going to yoga this morning, or?
I started to, and then I came back home because I had how you say, bathroom emergency. You haven't paid me back for dinner.
I don't think I owe you money for dinner.
You owe me 40 quid, my lord.
What?
Just 40, I paid, it was 80, so you can pay half.
What about your drink?
I have a boyfriend, so yeah.
Okay.
He's a New York City cop. You better be careful.
Oh, shit.
Pardon me. I think you've got a wee bucket up your nose. Right there. Now to the left a little bit.
Honey, we have 9 Amazon packages at the door.
That's weird. I didn't do that. Who did that? I don't know.
Not me.
Yeah, I did that. Sorry.
So I saw that. I reached out. She came on the pod. I'm so glad. She's also been on Master of None. She's been on American Dad. She was on, I had it right here. Where is it? Barry. That was the third one. Yeah, Barry. So she's acting, she's writing, she's producing. She's incredible, so talented, so fun. And I'm so glad you guys are here for our conversation. Only one quick thing to plug up top before we jump right in, which are my tour dates. If you're hearing this the day it comes out, I'm going to be in Phoenix this weekend, February 7th and 8th. Go to PeteHolmes.com for tickets. Followed by my show at Largo on February 15th. Then I'm coming to Vancouver. We added a second show in Vancouver. Thank you, my Canadian weirdos. On February 21st. The dates after that are Atlantic City, New Jersey, Austin, Texas, St. Louis, Missouri, Nashville, Tennessee, and Royal Oak, Michigan. Get tickets to all of those. I promise if you saw me last time I was in your town, it'll be a different hour, and I'm really excited about my new stuff, so I hope you like it as much as I do. In the meantime, enjoy Mary Elizabeth. This is such a fun one. Glad you're here. Check it out. Get into it.
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all.
Oh, we're starting.
Okay.
From the moment you walk in, I guess.
Here, let me help you. I have
Thank
one of these.
you.
Aren't these great?
It's a matcha.
Keeps it hot, doesn't it?
Keeps it quite hot, actually. Yeah.
I'll do my level best to keep it hot.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites.
Level
I'll
best.
do my level best.
I love Britishisms.
Britishisms.
I wish I was British.
Have you noticed? First of all, hello and welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
2.
Thanks.
Have you noticed how many ways British people have to say something's not real or
Yeah.
fake? They go, are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
daft?
Are you daft? Are you mad? Are you mental?
Are you mental? Are you winding
mental?
me up? Are you taking the piss?
That taking the piss.
They can't. They have so many like.
They can't believe.
Wait, is this real?
Yeah, they can't believe anything. I don't know. Maybe because
Skeptical.
stuff's gone down over
Well,
there.
because a lot of people have left.
Yeah.
We left.
Brexit.
Oh, well, I didn't mean Brexit. I meant the original
left.
Brexit,
Yeah.
which was us.
Yeah, we did leave.
I call Brexit 2
Okay.
because we left
The
first.
squeakquel.
Elvis.
Yeah. Cheers.
So, Mary Elizabeth,
Yeah.
1, you're so funny.
Thank you.
2,
So are you.
Get the fuck out. What if I only said it so you would say it?
Some people do that.
I love you.
Some people do. I love you too. Oh, uh-oh, we're in it now.
Tell me the story of when you told your male partner the first time you said I love you.
Okay. He is very private, personal person, and I'm not.
PPP?
He's a PPP, a triple P, if
guy's
you
a
could believe
PPP?
it. And I am not.
Yeah, you're out there.
If you can tell,
You're flying the freak
from
flag.
my personality.
You're having fucking Instagram lunches with other
Exactly.
Instagrammers and
Yeah.
gramming it.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
You do that.
I don't do the food, but I'll do the people. I'll post the people.
Post the peep.
I'll post the peep. I
Do
don't
a
post
bit.
the food. I'm not a
food.
food blogger, but I'm out there.
You're out in the mix.
And I'm an emotional person. And so I was saying I love you to him a lot.
Right away.
Already. I was just sort of
Wait,
like,
so you said it first.
well, I would go, I feel a certain way about you, but I don't know if I should say it. And he's like, don't say it until you mean it. And I'd be like, ugh, I'd like write it on his back.
Wait, this is kind of what I wanted to do.
It's actually very cute.
This is kind of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Not really, though.
Well,
but with full respect to what you do, I'm like,
okay.
Can we come up with a funny for
Yeah.
your account?
Yeah.
Because this seems in your
Okay.
wheelhouse.
You know,
when you don't want to say I love you, I can
honestly,
see people sharing this.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Write it down.
No.
We'll copyright it now.
All for you, obviously, but
Yeah.
like you
Thank
need
you.
to be cranking that content.
It's
I just
true.
dropped my wedding ring.
Oh my God, what is that?
What does
What does that mean? Can I take my sweater off?
I'm cold, my fingers.
Oh, that happens.
And I'm less committed to my wife.
It can tell.
It's really sweet.
When it's cold out, you're less committed to your wife.
When I'm cold, I'm in the mix.
Yeah.
My favorite club, Ice Bar.
I like to go there and meet women.
And what I do is I meet
Yeah,
women.
you meet women at the ice bar because your ring just slides right off.
It slides right off.
I'm having the opposite problem with, pregnancy.
Yeah. Well, that's
I'm
what we were
swollen.
going to say is you're swole.
I'm swollen.
How'd you get so swole, bro?
Working. Well,
Wait, we're both ADD and I'm loving it.
okay. Oh,
But you would write I love you on his back.
yeah, I would write I love you on his back.
And then we're not going to forget pregnant.
No, we're not going to forget. How
We
could
have
we?
a visual cue, a
How
very
could
subtle
we?
one.
A subtle visual cue.
Here's
yeah.
how to be a class act as a
It's
gentleman.
you.
I'm sorry, are you pregnant? Tell your body.
Are you pregnant?
Clearly the baby's healthy, but you are not showing.
No. Well,
Are you meant to?
are you daft?
Are you winding me up?
You know what they say? Oh gosh, what do they say in England when you are pregnant?
Bun in the oven.
I'll remember it, but it's something stupid.
Should we ask ChatGPT?
Yeah, probably.
Do you
what
want
do they
to?
say when? Do you have it?
Oh, yeah.
Easily
It installed
accessible?
itself on all of our phones when we weren't looking. JK. But it's
Well,
so fun.
I
Watch
wouldn't
this.
be surprised.
Yeah. What is how do British people say colloquially, oh my goodness, you're pregnant? Do they have like funny ways in Britain to say, looks like you're pregnant?
That was very specific.
She doesn't mind. It's not like Google.
In British slang, there are several humorous and colloquial ways to say someone is pregnant.
She's British.
Some common
She would know.
expressions include up the duff, a cheeky and informal way to say someone is pregnant, often implying a bit of surprise. In the pudding club, an old-fashioned term that humorously likens pregnancy to a pudding, reflecting the shape of a pregnant belly. Bun in the oven, a widely used metaphor
Bun in the
comparing
oven.
a baby in the womb to a bun baking in an oven. In the family way, a more refined,
family way.
somewhat
Oh, are you in the
Are you in the
family
family
way?
way?
That's
Yeah.
the one I want the queen
Yeah, the
to
family
use.
way. That's the nice
considered
one.
impolite, but is often used in casual joking
Okay.
context.
Okay.
Thank you.
These phrases add a playful or
All
humorous.
right.
Okay,
We don't need your.
all
We don't
right,
need your
that's enough.
take.
She
We don't
kind
need
of-
your take.
It's funny. She kind of had a bit of a smile when she was saying that.
I'm
too.
telling you, I'm not afraid anymore. I spent a lot of time being afraid of AI,
You're not
and now I'm
afraid.
like, I think it's going to be
Good for you.
Just A-okay.
I'm
Listen
scared.
to her.
This is the thing. We
She's
don't
so
have much
nice.
of a choice at this point. You
Just
know what
yield to it.
I mean? But the up the what did it?
Up the
the
what was-
duff.
yeah, what was the first one?
Up the duff sound.
Up the
seems-
duff.
Yeah.
Are you?
I
Up,
like
it is up the duff.
in the pudding club.
You in the pudding? You in the pudding club, love?
I'm in the pudding
what
club.
should we have for pud?
I'm way deep into the pudding club, my love.
You're not
yeah.
turning down. You're having pud for two, aren't
I'm having
you?
pud for two.
You're in the family way. Is the
family
funniest
way.
one.
I think I was thinking of. They say that you fall pregnant. That you don't that you're not like, oh, I became pregnant or I got pregnant. They're like, and then I fell pregnant, which feels like an illness.
Like ill. I fell ill. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took to pregnancy.
Anyway,
Could you do the Queen? I'm not saying the Queen is one of your impressions, but just
Yeah,
we're
I've
in the
not done
Crown.
her.
We're in the later seasons. But
Okay.
you just have to be very still.
Okay.
I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just saying being a very still old woman
Okay.
with the little handshake.
Sure.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
And you just say, I see you in the family way. It's just for fun. It's just a softball. It's going to be so easy. Ready? And action. Okay. Hello, Mum.
Are you in the family way? Are you in the family way?
She couldn't wait to say it.
I couldn't wait to say it. The
She
Queen
couldn't wait to say
The
it.
Queen loves to. I feel like she was a little bit judgmental, probably. Well, extremely.
Wouldn't you be?
Well, the royals are famously.
Are they?
I think Meghan Markle's not there anymore because
Oh,
They
and did she
were-
blow the whistle?
she
Did
blew
she go,
the
they were
fucking whistle, mate.
judgmental?
Yeah,
Never cared about the royals.
I really don't either. Weirdly, as even though I'm kind of an Anglophile,
You have care about the royals' face.
what? Because I'm.
Honestly, I
brunette
don't know what I
white
mean by that.
woman.
Yeah, you just look like a white lady.
You know, my mom really loves the. You know what? My mom and her generation loved the royals because of Princess Diana.
Right, and it was pre-internet.
Yeah,
and
and,
that's
they
all
were
you
like,
had.
she's like one of us.
Now you have like drones in New Jersey.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
before we knew about them,
Allegedly.
we're like, allegedly.
Yeah.
Are they gone?
Well, no, I'm just saying, allegedly drones.
Oh, right.
They say, well, I don't know.
Could be something else.
Could be something else.
Do you do Larry David? Pretty.
I've not done Larry David.
yeah.
He's a bit out of my wheelhouse, you know what I mean? But I could. Hey,
I mean, hey,
I don't say no.
how do you feel about doing Denzel as a white woman? Would you do Denzel?
I'm not doing that.
You're not going to do
Probably
it.
No.
I did him on stage the other night, and I was like, I feel you backing away because it's a black man. But then I was like, it's not like I'm just doing a stereotypical voice. I'm
Right.
doing Denzel.
Well, and I do have to say it was very something I had this idea for a video, and then someone did it, and I was like, thank God someone did it. But it was basically any movie he's in, he's
Gladiator
he's
2.
Denzel.
I am
Gladiator
never
2.
on the gram.
Did you see this video?
And I saw this video. I was
When it's like
we will go
basically
into Rome.
right, like
He's
fully
like,
British, whatever people.
That's
yeah,
you. We're going to go
right,
into Rome.
right, exactly,
All right. Rome
exactly.
wants to
All
build
right,
today.
all right, all right.
Okay, all
yeah,
right.
and I thought that was really. I was like,
It
that.
was-
It hit it on the head.
Well, look, we're all over the place. We're not going to forget pregnant. We're not
We're not
going to
gonna
forget in a
forget.
family way.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Let's talk a little bit, if you don't mind,
No.
with an older fella.
Okay.
Catch me up on the internet. I'm just kidding. What I really am, I keep who cares?
Okay.
When I've gone into the portal where I saw you,
Yes.
I'm so struck with what the internet is.
Sure.
Like, I'm really in awe of it. I'm not
Yeah.
just an Andy Rooney going like, it's melting our brains. I have that. But then I also, because I go in there so infrequently, because it's like sugar for me,
Yeah.
and I really could be like,
It's addictive.
Oh, I
It
could
is.
see myself
Yeah.
really getting into this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just going to keep it off my phone. I install it,
That's
look
really
at something,
smart.
take it. I know.
You gotta.
And yet I post, so don't feel judged. I'm
Okay.
out there posting, so don't
Yeah,
feel like I'm
yeah.
saying this is a bad thing.
Sure.
People are on it. You got to get the word out. I love it.
Yeah.
And here's the unexpected thing. So it's not just evil. Sometimes I'm blown away. Present company in the till.
Thank you so much.
I was watching your video about using an accent to get out of uncomfortable situations.
Sure.
Mary Liz, I laughed. I was alone in a hotel room. Cackling. Like nothing. Like you put on, like I love The Simpsons. You put on an episode of The Simpsons,
Yeah.
you're laughing.
Sure.
But sometimes you get lulled into this hypnotic state
Yeah.
when you're watching stories.
Yes,
And then one
yeah.
hits you. And it really, like, hit is the word.
Yeah.
It, like, shocks you. It surprises you. And I'm watching shit. Like, that kind of helps.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that one kind of sucked.
Sure.
That one's not good. That one's just interesting. And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, and this is the compliment to you, but I also want to just your take on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, grade A, like triple A comedy. Like, that's as good as it gets.
That's
I
so
really felt that
nice.
way about your video.
That's so nice.
And I feel that way about, well, not to diminish the compliment. So I won't say
Yeah,
it's triple A,
okay.
but the Gladiator one, I was also like,
Yeah.
that's ready to
Yes,
go.
yes.
I could do that on stage tonight and it would
Right.
murder.
Totally.
This guy did it in his living room.
Yeah.
And that doesn't take away from it, but I'm like,
But that's the beauty of the internet.
amazing.
It's like you can have this thought and then just make a video and just put it on the internet and then people can consume it and it's there.
That's right.
And like, right. I mean, I love stand up and I've always admired stand up. I have tried and not been able to do it for just it. The way I've always done improv and whatever. And for whatever reason that feels easier for me. But stand up, right. It's like you work at these jokes and you have to do it in person in front of people and like you get the immediate feedback of the laughter or
Yes.
the not laughter or
Yes.
whatever. But the internet's interesting in that way and that you kind of just have to be like, okay, I think this is funny. I guess I'm just going to post it. We'll see if other people like it. Like you don't really get to workshop things.
Yes,
But
and
there's a beauty to that too.
there's an upside and a downside
Yeah,
to that.
yeah.
There's less refinement.
Right.
That's my old man hat.
Yes.
Being like,
No,
you're
no,
not
it's
going to
true.
see the craftsman that like knows how to make a fucking pair of clogs.
Yeah, right.
As much.
Right.
But I'll tell you, there are jokes that I do and I love. They're my favorite jokes and they're usually very silly.
Sure.
And then you take them to a weekend at a club. Now you're doing 5 shows. You do it 5 times. By the 5th show, that joke is dead.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it didn't work. You lost your confidence. It's not fresh to you anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, it actually needed to be a short. It should have been a short.
Sure.
It should have been
Yeah.
more like a photograph
Yeah.
than a performance.
Yeah.
Like a moment.
But it's kind of nice that you get to like do that in real time. I don't know. Like
Yes.
that you get to do it in front of real human beings and see their react. Like,
Well, yeah.
that's something I miss about theater. And like I did theater all through high school and college and I love the immediate feedback I love, whereas like being on the internet,
I mean,
people. There are some wonderful people
Yeah.
like that are watching and engaging and excited about things, and then
Yeah.
there are people who they're just on there to
be mean.
shit on you.
To project
know?
their pain onto you.
Exactly.
And like tear you down.
Yeah, like people really can be intense, but I've had more positive outcomes than negative.
I feel in this moment, I feel weird about that for you.
Thank you.
I-
It was an
because-
adjustment for
tell me,
sure at the beginning.
What's your strategy?
Oy.
I didn't expect to talk about this, but I'm glad we
Yeah.
are. So there's haters and just worse than
Yeah.
haters. There's just like people being
trolls?
That's
yeah,
the word.
yeah,
Trolls.
yeah.
Like trolling. How
Yeah.
do you guard your creativity? So this precious like flame.
Yeah.
How do you guard it against the overthinking that like, oh, what are people going to say? Is that
Oh
an
my
issue?
God. It was an issue at first, majorly. And it still creeps in from time to time. But yeah, at the beginning, it was like, how do I keep, like, once you have a big viral video, you're like, oh, I need to keep this going. And how do I keep this? How do I make another video that's just as good and that people will like? And you start catering to the people in the comments. And while it's interesting and important to like listen to those people at times, like, oh, that's funny, you should do this version. I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. There are
Right.
some people, you know, obviously they're negative and that gets in your head and you go, okay, well then maybe I don't do that next time, whatever. But I've started to just be like, what do I like?
Yes.
What do I think is funny?
Please.
What brings me joy?
Help.
What inspires me?
Need it.
Exactly. And
Shoot
then
it.
I do that thing and I post it and I just don't look at it. I'm just like,
Post and
I
ghost.
post it. I post and ghost.
Well, I'll
That's
tell you.
great. I need to take. I
Yeah,
haven't heard
posting
that
ghost.
one
I
before.
didn't make it up.
Yeah.
Do you want to pull your shirt down? I don't care.
Is my belly showing?
It's just because it's on the internet. We're talking about the internet, and I was like,
Yeah,
I've
people
done
are gonna be like,
episodes.
"Her belly's
no, I've done
showing."
episodes where my belly's out, and
Oh,
and,
really?
and
And
people
people
made. It was actually I saw the video, and whoever made it, I thought it was very nice. It was like a funny. I didn't feel made fun of, but
Yeah,
they were
well,
being
that's
like,
good.
Pete's belly's out.
Well, right. And then you know the next time you're doing it, you're like, is everything
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
On top. I don't think I would have noticed your belly was out, except that. Well, first of all, you're pregnant, so it
Yeah, I'm
changes
pregnant.
your.
It
belly.
does change the belly.
It makes
it's
it a
really like
different
the
belly.
baby's out.
The baby's out.
You know,
And
the
shouldn't
baby's
we
saying,
let it-
"Hi."
Shouldn't we let it out?
We should. Well, not yet.
Not yet.
It needs some time.
It's not
Gotta
gonna
cook.
It's the family way.
It's and I'm up the duff.
So okay, I could talk about this in the pud. I
Pudding
could talk
club.
about in the pudding club.
I love
I
that.
could talk about this endlessly because it's a big topic. It's
Yes,
like how
yeah,
much
yeah.
ownership does the audience have over an idea? So let's take the idea
Yeah.
that we had.
Yeah.
When you wanted to say "I love you" to your boyfriend, but
Yeah.
you know it's too soon.
Right.
I really think you should make this video.
Okay.
2, what's the consideration that goes into that? Like, oh well, guys will think it's weird, or is there what's in your process?
Well, first I go, okay, let me just make sure that like no one has done this before because that.
the hand trembling Google.
Yes, well, where you're like, and you know what? Like, there are plenty of times when I'm like, oh, that's a fun idea, and I search it on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and someone's done it already, and I'm like, God bless, have a good time,
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
But like with this video where I was like, oh, the accents to avoid conflict or whatever. My friend Natalie, corporate Natalie, she's on TikTok and Instagram, had made a video that was like singing to like get her roommate to do things. Like she, be like, you haven't done the dishes. Can you please help me with the dishes? Softening the blow with a song.
Yeah.
And I was like, I do that, but not with singing. I do it with accents.
Yes.
And so, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this video. I need to make sure no one's done this. Like no one's like done no one's already been inspired by this video, whatever. And then you give Natalie credit and you say like, this was inspired by her, but it's different. And of course there are people who are like,
They'll still say you ripped it off?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I'm light on the internet, but I did a bit about internet security checks. Like when it's like, prove you're not a robot.
Yeah.
And Mulaney, I hadn't seen that special of Mulaney's. He did one of those bets.
okay.
And people were like, should have just
Rev
brought
off.
out a
I
boombox
know.
and played his bet. And I'm
I
like,
know.
because the premise is the same. Like we're
Well, right, it's so
far from
different.
shore.
I know.
That you don't know that I'm also, look,
Yeah.
I'm not even getting mad. I'm just saying, I also live in a world where I see those capture tests.
see, that's the thing. I know.
What?
It's like, I think people are just cruising for
bruising.
Yeah,
They want to be bruising.
They want to be like, I see that. I see what's wrong with this. Whatever, because it makes them feel in
Smart.
control or something.
Smart and better than and
important.
yes.
And look, we all want to feel that way, but
No, that's really
we
nice.
all can just take a breath and
I think about this all the time. Like you wear a jersey, and I wear my own types of jerseys. It's not literally a jersey, but like a jersey or a vanity plate. We're always trying to say like the attributes of this thing are mine.
Sure.
Like those are like even Nikes. You're wearing Nikes, and you're like, I'm a just do it kind of guy.
Sure.
And they go around, and we can't really fault them. You just want them to get a more nutritious meal. Like you can
look at the big picture a little bit. Yeah, and
you
like
can get
the
a cheap
internet,
hit
the
by
internet
being
is
like a bitch.
huge. Right, exactly. And like
The internet's huge.
it's a big, big place, and sometimes you miss things. And if someone's like, "Hey, so and so already did this," I'm like, "Oh, okay, shit. Well, here, watch this person's video. I guess these are similar, or whatever, or this is a coincidence, whatever." It doesn't happen often because I do my due diligence. Like I'm very intense about making sure that I haven't somehow missed something.
Yeah.
But the internet's big, and some people do. I'm not discrediting.
Well,
some people do straight up rip off other videos, like word for word.
Yeah, well, that's
and
so
say
prevalent.
inspired by, and
That's
it's like
so prevalent.
It's not.
It's prevalent. Yeah,
But-
and that's an issue, and there's a credit issue
Yes, that is absolutely true.
that I've talked about on other podcasts where probably on the same scroll, I saw this, and I wish I could remember his name. Anyway, people post the audio from someone else's post with other video, but it's only funny because of the audio. And then you're like, this person's a genius. And then you're like, but it wasn't
But it's not even your
them.
audio. I know that gets pretty freaky. But also at a certain, like that's been done to me before, where I've made a video and someone's made pretty much the exact same thing, and no credit to me, whatever. And I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. Like, and I have to just keep going in my lane and keep making stuff that I love and is fun for me. And
I'm sorry, I've said this advice that was given to me a million times, but I think it applies here. So Conan O'Brien, flex.
Oh,
Weird flex.
name drop.
Whoops. Dropped my ring again. Oh no, it's Conan's name. Whoops. That was the
you're
O
dropping
in
things
Conan.
left.
Sorry.
The ring or the O? The O.
It was the ring is the O in O'Brien.
Okay.
I'd like to change it to that O.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's-
They say in Britain, they say
Yeah.
pennies dropped. Like you dropped a penny.
Oh.
Pennies dropped.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something you're
that's weird.
teaching me about.
Well,
Britishisms.
Not to Britsplain.
Britsplain.
Are you Britsplaining this to me?
And they do.
Conan, of course. Look. Here's what you don't know. Sometimes you're mid-mansplain and you realize you're mansplaining and you're
Really?
like, no.
Do you? Well, good for you, because a lot of men don't know they're doing it at the time.
No, it just happened.
Wow.
Lisa Gilroy did the podcast yesterday and she was like, you're
Obsessed.
mansplaining. And I was like,
My queen.
I am.
I
know.
love Lisa. I love
She's
her.
so funny.
Lisa,
She's
I love
so
you.
funny.
She's so
In my defense,
so nice.
I was being an ass in the spirit of our convo. So it wasn't like earnest. But
Okay.
anyway, I was mansplaining, sort of a bit. Anyway, who cares?
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien said to me, he goes, he thinks of show business, but in our case, we can include, obviously, the cacophony of internet show business.
Yes.
It's like a million people in a tiny room playing musical instruments. And he goes, all you can do is just hit your triangle and just keep hitting it.
Yes.
People are changing instruments. People are trying to play louder, solo crazier. It's like, just keep hitting your triangle. Just be as consistent. That's what that guy does.
Yeah.
And don't worry about all the noise.
I love
And he's
that.
like, eventually, I'm sorry, I didn't really stick the landing. He goes,
Okay.
eventually, because you're being consistent, someone will
Yes.
go, what is that dinging I've heard for 10 years?
Right,
I've
right.
heard it.
What is that annoying dinging?
What is that
I've heard?
annoying dinging?
Yeah.
Is something in the oven?
Finally, I'll pay attention. Is somebody up the duff?
Is a bun in? Yeah, there you go. So anyway,
Bringing it back.
I'm going to give you one that's, I hope, interesting.
Okay.
Because there's a part of me that's like, we can't be paralyzed with has someone done it before? Meaning, take Seth MacFarlane, right? Made Family Guy.
Yes.
Family Guy is its own thing. But
Yeah.
when it started, everyone was just like, it's a Simpsons knockoff.
Sure.
And I think he even would say, yeah, it was a Simpsons knockoff.
Right.
So there's an area for like empowered, like, yeah, but I deserve to take up space too.
Yeah.
Meaning, I'll give you my example. My example is, and I didn't know this until after the fact, but the first Batman video we did was called Batman Vanishing. Who cares? I just was watching the video. I was like, what if he gets caught? It's the most obvious thing in the world.
Sure.
Batman's always sneaking away. What if he gets caught?
Yeah.
We just made it.
Yeah.
I could have Googled it. And had I Googled it, I think it's one of the scary movies or like a Wayans Brothers movie where nobody cared, by the way.
Right.
This isn't a story where
Sure,
people like
sure.
yelled at me for stealing a Wayans
Yeah,
Brothers bit.
yeah.
But I might have found that and I would have gone like, well, someone did it. And then I wouldn't
And then you
have
wouldn't
made
have done it. Yeah.
10 other, they're some of the greatest joys of my life, and I wouldn't gotten stopped.
Yeah.
I've told this story a million times, but like I can do it really fast. Gary Larson, who made the comic strip The Far Side.
Yeah.
He mailed out The Far Side. People have heard this. Everyone that listens to this podcast is like, Old Man Holmes is telling his Far Side story.
All right.
I love this story, though. I want to hear your reaction to it.
Yeah, okay.
He mails out 50 cartoons to 10 newspapers in the area. He waits weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. He doesn't hear shit. One Thursday, he's like, fuck it, I'm going to drive to Chicago. I'm going to pitch him in person. He drives to Chicago. He literally waits in the waiting room with his little comic portfolio, waits and waits and waits. They finally see him, shows it to him. They go, these are great. We're going to buy it. It's the fucking Far Side. They didn't know that, but they're like, these are great.
Yeah.
They buy it. He gets a deal, drives home. What's in his mailbox? 10 rejection letters from all the places he had mailed it to. He's like, if I had waited a week, I would have been so disheartened by the rejection that I wouldn't have driven to Chicago.
Yep.
So I'm like, that's what I'm saying is there's a time to drive to Chicago.
Sure.
Because every joke is kind of, I'm not saying go out there stealing.
No, of course
not. It's still like your version of the accent thing and the singing thing.
Yeah.
We're all riffing. There's only so many notes on the guitar is what I'm saying.
Right. Well, and I think it's finding the balance, like obviously between, you don't want to be afraid of creating content for creating things that are, somewhat similar or whatever, or, based off of something. Or I think it's just honestly giving credit where credit is due. And giving really, credit. Even if it's, for me, sometimes I'm literally like, even if it's just a hair similar, I'm like, also look at this person's thing that they did. This is also very funny, whatever. Yeah. And, right. But it can be debilitating when you're like, oh God, well, what, because it's mostly like, what will people say? Because I know I'm, doing my due diligence, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. But the internet, again, it's just like, it's a scary place. People can say whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want. Yeah. And with like no picture behind their, words. And so, it can be really intense. I mean, let's just say therapy is helpful.
It comes up on the couch.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
Because it's like, I am a person who like, I have trouble with lack of control. I mean, who doesn't really? Like, I think that's a common thing, and I can be anxious and whatever. So kind of coming to terms with like, I can't control what people say. Yeah. And I don't want it to stop me from creating things that I think are fun and wonderful. Because for every, crappy message, I get a message from like a new mom being like, I watch your videos when I'm breastfeeding at night and I've had postpartum depression. It's the only thing that brings me joy, stuff like that. And you're like, okay. Yeah. So this is legitimately like bringing actual joy to people. Yes. And I can't be afraid.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, what is the point? And the point is to like really make people laugh and express yourself.
Yes.
So then the other thing I think that covers sounds like we're hiding. What smooths it over for me is when I made, like, take the Batman video. I was also making 3,000 other things, meaning I'm in the flow. I'm producing ideas. I'm not just a guy that saw a thing and then, like...
Right.
Speaking of cartoons, when I submitted cartoons to the New Yorker, you'd have to submit 10 a week, and they'd reject them every week.
Sure.
If you went in with one, and sometimes some weird guy would come in off the street with one cartoon, it could be the best cartoon in the world. They wouldn't buy it. It could be the best cartoon in the world. They wouldn't buy it.
Sure.
And that's kind of the thing. Like, if you steal one idea, you really look like a schmuck.
Right,
but if, like, every once in a while you're nudging up to something else that exists.
Yeah. Well, and, I think all you can do is just keep creating and keep making.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. More creative things and be like, obviously for me at least, I do feel this sort of like, there's always this like kind of bubbling fountain of stuff that I'm excited about. And I have like a whole notes app full of ideas and stuff. So yeah, it's not like I'm just like, ooh, goody, like let me, but some people do that. And some people build huge platforms off of only just taking other people's stuff for audios or whatever. Yeah. So,
that's
it feels
always been there.
Yeah, exactly. And it always will. It always will.
And in a way, the networks, that was what they were doing. You know what I mean?
No, that is true.
It's like, that's the oldest idea in the book.
I know.
Like these weird,
well, that's working. Well, yeah.
Look at these weird pirates.
Right.
That don't have checkbooks and they sleep all day.
Right.
Well, I get up early.
Sure.
And I know how to sell advertising.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right,
so
literally. I know.
I'll tell them that they'll get exposure.
Yeah.
It's the oldest one in the book.
It is, yeah. It's hard not to kind of like, I'm sure people, it's a tale as old as time. But
song as old as...
Still as old as time.
Song as old as...
Rhyme. Beauty and the Beast.
Rhyme. Let me ask you this.
I know my Disney trivia, 90s.
I know my weird myths about bestiality.
Oh. Okay.
Not the first person to point that out. Let me, see, there it goes. Somebody's already done that. What if I Googled? What if in the future we're wearing goggles and it tells you if your riff has been done?
I mean,
and how many times it's been done?
The death of art.
The death of art. It's over. And you can. That's kind of like a weird Black Mirror. You can only say things that have never been said. So you end up saying things that are like incredibly weird.
Well, what is it in Garden State when isn't she like do something no one's ever done before?
I can't handle that. Look,
Manic Pixie Dream Girl energy.
I'm friends with old Zachy B, and I would tell him this to his face. That I had a big problem with that scene because, no, not that scene. With people like her.
Oh yeah, the Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
The Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
The trope.
Because what I was screaming, because I related more to Zachy B, and I was like, I wish to more than anything he had said in Garden State. She says, "Do something that's never been done." That he had said, "Me refusing to do that has never been done."
Wow.
Like me saying I don't want to do that.
You're flipping the script.
Yeah. And deal with that. Like it's not weird.
Right.
This isn't the only thing that's weird.
Right.
Like this is also weird. Like no.
I know.
No. Like feel
like,
how weird you
no.
feel.
I'm saying no to you.
That's fresh too.
Boundaries. Ever heard of them?
Ever heard of them? Portman?
I barely have.
Neither have I.
Boundaries
in this
are
family?
Irish Catholic.
Hi. It's one of the
Yes,
few
ma'am.
accents we can still do kind of in like a demeaning way.
Which one?
Hi, touch, hi, touch, hi. You know what I mean? Like you can still do that. That in Italian, I've already pointed this out. But you can still be like, oh, touch, hi, touch, hi.
Yeah, you can.
Like it's still
Sure.
maybe 3 more months.
Yeah. I went to Ireland recently and
Ireland.
I went to Ireland recently.
Ireland. Good.
Thank you.
You do a good one.
I
just say
do.
Ireland.
They do.
Here's Glenn Hansard. Glenn Hansard. Ready? I do a one-word Glenn
Okay.
Hansard. We're going to get to your
Okay.
Ireland. Don't worry. Here's my
We don't
one-word
have to.
Glenn Hansard. Just say, I'd love to go out with you sometime. It has to be something like that.
I love to go out with you sometime.
Cool.
Cool. That's like, they say school.
School.
Yeah.
School.
How the heck did they?
We got a Katie laugh.
Oh, cheers.
School.
That's really exciting.
Okay, so you went to Ireland.
I went to Ireland. My
Ireland.
sister got married in Ireland.
On the rolling hills.
Yeah.
I'm watching Bad Sisters. I'm like, it really
I
is
love
rolling
Bad
hills.
Sisters. I love Sharon Horgan.
Me too.
I love
Get
her.
in my life.
She's really
so
something.
talented.
Ashlyn B. I did a whole video on like Irish actors.
Aisling
Because
B.
I love them.
Is a delight.
Oh yes,
She's a fucking delight.
You've absolutely
She's been
worked
on
with
the pod
her.
a couple times. I'm thinking, oh, we were in Home Alone together.
You were in Home Alone together.
Look,
Cute.
no one saw it.
I did not.
That's what I'm saying.
But I do love
We all
her.
worked hard, and I loved
you.
everyone that was in it.
Yeah.
But nobody saw it.
That's tough. It's
tough.
But you
It's
did
tough.
it.
We
But
did
you
it.
You did it.
No
and you
one
can't
can
be
take that away.
afraid.
Don't
and you can't be
afraid.
scared.
Don't be scared.
You can't be scared
Aisling
of making
B.
stuff like that. I love her. She's a sweetie.
Yeah.
I loved Ireland and I love the people
Some
there.
people saw it.
Anyway,
I
some
turned
people
back
saw
on the
it.
ref. Some people
Yeah.
saw it.
Plenty of people.
Yeah.
But yes, Ireland's amazing. But yeah, some people the accents vary so much throughout Ireland that sometimes you can get an accent like that.
Oh,
like
yeah, he doesn't know.
They say down in Cork, people kind of talk with a higher accent up like that.
Oh, toy.
So it's not
Yeah.
I don't know if that
Yeah.
particular phrase is something that they say. The hoity-toity. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like.
Yeah,
I don't know if
maybe.
that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like there's French people that definitely go,
Right.
And I've heard aso. I'm not going to do that one.
Oh, okay.
I've heard aso means I see, like in Japanese. I heard that. I don't know if that's
Oh,
true.
and there's
you
that-
easily Google it.
yeah.
But then it became like a stereotype and certainly not
Sure.
okay.
Hey,
We'll be right
stereotypes sometimes,
MeUndies.com/stereotypes for 10% added to your bill.
hashtag stereotypes.
So you went to Ireland and you heard lots of different
did.
accents.
Yes, and it was amazing. I love accents as as I'm sure you've come to realize. And I do, and you know what, Pete? I do that all day.
No.
I do. I use different accents all day.
Mayor Liz.
All different kinds of things.
Do you think for 1 second that I would laugh at that video just because there was funny voices in it? I was like, that video
Yeah.
is what non-confrontational people.
Yes.
Okay, so
Again,
if you
Irish
haven't seen the
Catholic.
video, yeah, exactly.
You know?
So you don't
Yeah.
want to be wicked, and you don't want to be mean, and you don't want to be.
you don't want to set a boundary.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
but
you don't want to
have
be appropriate. You don't want to
Right.
not be codependent.
Exactly.
You are in charge of how other people feel.
Yes.
The story I like to
It's
tell
all my fault.
is once my dad was mad, and I said, like this is what I would say to my daughter, and I said it to my dad. I go, Dad, you're upset. That's okay. And he went, it's not okay. And I was like, right. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
Like if you were upset, I would say, Mary Liz, you're upset. That's okay.
It's okay.
Let's feel it.
Right.
I understand.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Right.
But he's like, no.
Right.
Say
You pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah. Make me better.
Yeah, exactly.
Now.
I know. And I know.
Make me better in real time.
Make me
Say
better.
what I need now.
I need it. I need everything from you, my child.
Did you watch Severance?
Obsessed.
It's when they're doing the penance.
Yes.
And they're like, I am deep. That's what they want.
Yeah.
I am deeply sorry.
Yeah,
it is
literally.
completely my fault. Like
and that's like
show up.
And that's what that's what I was taught as a child, basically.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me
Just
too.
to be
And
like,
you're
mea culpa.
100% in charge of how your parents feel.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? Okay. I'm
Tell
going to
me.
give her credit. Her name is Milana. I can't say her last name.
Weintraub.
Yeah.
Love her.
She's my dear friend. I've never even tried to say her last name.
Really?
Weintraub?
I think that's how I say it.
I'm too scared.
And I don't know her.
I'm too scared. I'm too scared to try.
Pop off in the comments. Tell us
Pop
if
off in
that's
those
true.
comments. And remember, meundies.com/stereotypes
Yes,
for
stereotypes.
10% ad.
Yeah, great.
Milana, you get full credit for this. We're having coffee, and she goes, and I'm talking about how guilty I feel that it wasn't this exactly, but I'll use it as an example. How guilty I feel that I don't visit my parents more often. Right?
Yeah.
And she said, oh, she's so fierce. She goes, but calm.
Yeah.
She goes, can we stop saying guilt? She goes, guilt is when you do something that's against your own values. Like you betrayed your own values and you feel guilt. Let's start saying what it really is. Let's say, I feel really codependent that I know I'm letting my mother down, that I don't visit more often. And I was like,
Whoa!
yeah! Yeah! Right?
In the club with my homies. Yeah.
I've done it. I've stopped saying guilt.
You know what? I think that could change my life.
Can I give you another one?
Sure.
For free? Because it seems like we have the same issue.
Yeah.
This is unreal. It's a little bit
Because
different.
I feel guilty all the time.
Tell me. Yeah.
Just all the time about everything.
I'm going to put this down. I'm just all jazzed up, and I want to hear you.
Okay.
You feel
well, no,
this,
wait, what's
this
your second
specific,
thing?
well,
What was
the
your
sp-
second
the
piece
second
of
thing,
advice?
and then we're going to go to that.
Okay.
Don't get upset hearing something you already knew. That's a big one.
Whoa.
I wrote that on my mirror.
Oh my God.
Don't get upset hearing something you already knew. Isn't that a game changer?
Yeah.
So what
I
Milana
feel myself
said,
tearing up.
I know. I know.
Wow.
Look, I love my folks. When I call,
Yeah,
I say
me
out
too.
loud, don't get upset hearing something you already knew.
Wow.
So somebody responds or behaves and you
Yeah.
go, I already knew that.
Right,
Who's
right,
the
right.
insane person?
Right.
The
And you
insane
just
person
go,
is like,
okay.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Right.
You're fighting the stream.
Yeah. It's like a tidal wave.
Yeah. I love that you got emotion.
I got a. Cheers. I got a little
first
emotion.
baby?
First baby.
Are you having that? Like more emotion, more access to
Oh
emotion?
yeah, more access to
This
emotion.
isn't me saying you're being
No, no, no,
emotional.
no,
I'm
no.
saying like you get more, like it's open.
I'm a crier. I'm a general crier. I would say pre-pregnancy, I was a crier, but I definitely am more. Right, I'm feeling every feeling.
They're there.
Yeah, they're just accessible. They're right
And
there.
you can get them. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying. I
yes.
have them too.
Yeah.
So when your hormones are like flare or whatever you want to
Sure.
say are heightened,
Sure.
you just can get them.
Yeah, and you're like, boop.
We're all having them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can get them.
And it's kind of a beautiful thing. It's kind
It
of
is.
gorgeous, but it's also, I also like give so much less of a shit about other things. Like certain things I'm like, who cares about that?
Nice.
But in other things I'm like, yeah, they're more easily accessible, I guess is what you would say. Yeah.
No, look, I don't want to tell you, but it seems to me when and men obviously have hormones too, when I'm feeling more open, more vulnerable, and I'm
Yeah.
just seeing them, I'm like, at least I know how I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
'Cause
You're in touch.
sometimes they're there, but they can't get through.
And if you don't know what they are, that's
you
scary.
can't even deal with them.
Yeah.
So when you're in states that heighten your
Yeah.
availability to your own feelings, you can go like,
Yes.
yeah, I am sad, or I am mad, or I
Yeah.
am this, and at
Well,
least
that's
you know.
also something that Irish Catholic, like, that upbringing, at least for me. Like, and I'm from New England. I'm from Connecticut.
You are?
But yes.
Oh, word.
So there's not a ton of,
Oh, word.
oh, word.
Oh, word.
It's sort of giving cork cadence.
Yeah, yeah.
The height.
Oh,
Yeah.
word.
Oh, word. They say that in Ireland.
Oh, word.
All the time. Oh, word. But yeah, I'm from Connecticut. My mom is actually from Massachusetts, from outside of Boston.
Oh, no way. What part?
She's from all over.
Tewksbury?
No, where's Tewksbury?
I don't know.
Somewhere.
Couldn't take you to
But
Tewksbury.
I believe that that's in Massachusetts.
It's a real one.
There are a lot of buries.
Yeah.
Duxbury.
A lot of breeze. Yeah.
Yeah, we could name them all.
Newburyport.
Newburyport.
My favorite Well, it's in Rhode Island, I think. Seekonk.
Seekonk. I know someone from Seekonk.
Seekonk.
I know someone from Seekonk, and I've been to the Outback Steakhouse in Seekonk and the Chick-fil-A.
These are the spots.
And I love Seekonk, but
Your mom is
I'm from
New
Connecticut.
England, and
My mom's
you're Irish Catholic. Yeah.
And in Connecticut, there's not a lot of like emotional discussion, etc.
Oh, no, it's the birth of this laugh.
Exactly. The lockjaw. Exactly. Yeah.
The woman version is worse.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like
yeah,
you're crying, but you're laughing.
I do have a funny story. I used to do impressions. I've done impressions like since I was a kid. Like that's just been how I've entertained people for my entire life. And I used to do, we watched Austin Powers. I think I was like a little too young to watch Austin Powers, but I became obsessed.
A lot of vagina.
That didn't make sense to me until so much later.
I also her boobs floating in the hot tub was so weird.
I think about that.
I think about that every day.
All the time.
Her boobs. Her boobs
in the hot tub.
They're so buoyant.
I think about
it every day. Not every day, but like,
often,
do you remember it?
Too often.
They're so...
She moves back in the hot tub and they're like,
yes.
Yeah. And no one, and
no
what?
One's talking about it. No one's talking about it.
But we're brave enough here.
This is what the internet is for. You're not, dear the internet.
Yeah. And
you're
you know
not
what?
alone. Everyone was like, why so buoyant?
I guarantee everyone's like, yeah, what the hell? Everyone's going to agree with us.
It's one of those things you didn't know you knew until someone said it. And
exactly.
That's
it's so true. And that unlocked something for me just now. Oh my God. Yeah. So yes. Yes, exactly.
So and that was my story.
Yeah, no. So and that was it.
And that's why
I just wanted to talk about her floating tatas.
This episode is brought to us by our friends, one of our newest Pete's Picks, which is mud water. It's February, which means right around this time, if you're anything like me, maybe some of those New Year's resolutions are starting to slip. Maybe you wanted to grow a mustache, or hit the gym more often, or stop hitting the snooze button 17 times every morning. Well, here's one you can probably stick with. If you're like me, mud water, which means less caffeine, less jitters, better sleep, getting up better and feeling more refreshed, and still having a delicious warm drink that you can drink in the mid-afternoon when you're starting to crash. I'm obsessed with mud water. It's not just energy, it's energy and a warm, grounded feeling. Like I said, it's not jittery, but earthy and solid. So when 3 p.m. rolls around and you're starting to dip in energy, but you don't want another cup of coffee because it's like licking a car battery, you don't want those jitters. Mud water is an organic, gluten-free, and vegan coffee alternative that is so chock full of goodness, it's no wonder it makes you feel amazing. My energy is up, and even more important, my sleep is improved now that I'm getting more natural energy and drinking less coffee. Powered by functional mushrooms and superfoods to boost your energy, your focus, and your immune system, each ingredient in mud water serves a purpose for clean, natural energy boost. Their OG blend, which is the one that I like, contains cacao, it's the one I drink every day, and chai for a hint of caffeine and a chocolate-like flavor. It's got lion's mane for focus, cordyceps to promote natural energy, and both chaga and reishi to support a healthy immune system, which, let me tell you, having a 6-year-old in the house, you want that immune system gangbusters. It's also wonderful for brain fog and productivity and dialing you in. Mud water is like coffee's chill, yoga-loving cousin who went on a spiritual retreat and came back more zen without any of those jitters. Imagine being alert and calm at the same time and not having trouble falling asleep at night. That is mud water, with adaptogens, antioxidants, and all those other fancy health words that make you feel superior to your regular-ass coffee-drinking friends. So, are you ready to make a switch and commit to something you can actually do this new year? To clean energy, head to mudwater, mudwtr.com, and grab your starter kit today. Right now, Weirdos get an exclusive deal, up to 43% off your entire order, plus free shipping and a free rechargeable frother when you use code WEIRD. That's right, 43% off with code WEIRD at mudwtr.com. After your purchase, they will ask how you found them. Please tell them this show. Support our show while you support your natural energy and stay refreshing all year long with mud water, because life's too short for anything less than clean, delicious energy. We're also brought to us by our friends at CHUBBIES. Lately, I have been so obsessed with CHUBBIES clothes. I've been rocking their classic line swim trunks in my pool, in the cold plunge, and the hot tub. I love the water. And they are the best looking, best fitting swim trunks I've ever owned, because they have a built-in boxer brief liner, not a brief like a tighty whitey liner. The boxer brief liner is a game changer, so no more cutting off the circulation at the high thigh. Why didn't anyone else think of this? I'm obsessed with Chubbies, and now that spring is almost here, it's time to shake off those heavy layers and bust out those beautiful thighs, gentlemen. Whether you're on spring break, heading to a backyard barbecue, playing around a golf, or delivering a podcast ad read like I am right now, Chubbies has the styles for any spring occasion with a variety of bright and comfortable polos and high-quality thigh-exposing shorts. Chubbies has the style and fit for that spring vibe you are going for. Taking that well-deserved spring vacation, Chubbies has the ultimate training shorts for you. Or if you're looking for a more casual, comfortable fit with an outdoor brunch or a walk in the park, you can wear Chubbies original shorts that give you a classic feel with a modern look. And get this, they've even got the everywhere shorts. Everywhere. Like you can wear them everywhere, but they're every W-E-A-R. Designed for performance and casual vibes at the same time. Maybe miracles are indeed possible. So, let's face it, you deserve a wardrobe upgrade for springtime, so sweeten the deal for a limited time. Chubbies is giving weirdos 20% off your order with our exclusive code. Use code WEIRD at chubbiesshorts.com. Whether you're getting dressed for your workday, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubbies has you covered, and for a limited time, Chubbies is giving weirdos 20% off your order with code WEIRDO at chubbiesshorts.com. That's code WEIRDO at chubbiesshorts.com. Support the show. Make sure you tell them that we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubby.
But I used to do impressions of like Austin Powers and of Fat Bastard all the time.
Yeah.
And my mom, she had a dinner party once, and she at our house in Connecticut, and she loved being like, "Wait, Mary, come do your impressions, like come, whatever, do it for the fancy Connecticut ladies, Fairfield County Connecticut ladies." And so I'd walk up and I'd be like, doing my Fat Bastard impression, which I think at the time was like, get in my belly. I'm bigger than you.
Very.
Thank you.
Good.
Hold for applause.
Sorry. I just didn't want to say anything in case there was more.
I mean, what is it? Baby, the other white meat.
Oh.
Baby, the other white meat. That's something else he says.
Can I also interject?
Yeah.
Get in my belly was the first touchstone. You know how you need a touchstone?
Yeah.
And because he had a catchphrase, it helped us go like, and Austin Powers too.
Yeah.
Shagadelic, all these sorts of things.
Yeah, of course. Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah.
That's how he would get. I'm sure there are takes, in between takes, Mike Myers trying to get in character would just be like, do I make you horny, baby?
I have a video on this. I have a video on this.
What?
Check it out. I have a video because well, anyway, let me finish this story.
Yeah.
So basically, I would do that for like these, very like waspy New England ladies. And my mom thought it was so funny, obviously, because I'm her daughter and she is my biggest fan. But I would do, get in my belly. And these ladies would be like, oh, good. Okay. Good job. Very funny. And I'd be like, I bombed. I absolutely bombed for these Connecticut ladies. They didn't get it.
They weren't in the Geist.
They weren't in the Geist. And look at me, years later now.
Take a look at me now. That's what that song's about.
Yeah, it's about me.
It's about you.
And Fat Bastard.
And Fat Bastard.
And Fairfield County, Connecticut.
Also, I
the
wrote
video.
down Austin Powers, yes, but I feel like Mike Myers in general taught all of us how to like really do characters and voices.
Oh.
Like when he was...
He's so brave.
$1 million.
Dr. Evil.
Like, we could all kind of do it. I'm not saying well, but he showed us how to go like big.
Yes.
And then we were all just like, you can go big.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, we were all like, we don't want you to go big anymore. Like it's like done.
Right.
I'm not saying that was right or wrong. I'm just saying we lost our taste.
No, you're
for
so
it.
right.
Yeah.
And
no
that's
more big.
sad because I don't necessarily, I'm not like a super campy character-y person, like in terms of the characters that I do, which maybe, I don't know what it is, but I've never been able to like really like unlock that like super silly, like out there, but I love watching that. And I love people who are able to like develop, like one of my dearest friends is in the Groundlings. I love going to the Groundlings and I love watching just like huge, big characters. I don't know. Anyway, I just admire those people.
Well, I think there's good news that it'll definitely be back.
Oh, yeah.
Like now I really feel like Old Man Holmes. Everything just keeps coming back.
Oh, always. Well, and I think there's always an audience for it, even if it gets smaller or bigger, whatever.
But then also the internet, like because of the internet, like Schwarzenegger impressions when I was starting out was the hackest thing you could do.
Sure.
If you did one, you were a hack.
Sure.
And now because of the internet, Donald Glover, you can finally laugh at what turns out to be the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, well,
which is an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Oh, I love Arnold
It's
Schwarzenegger
all we
impressions.
need.
Yeah, and especially when you're really good. Like when you can
There's
do a
people
really
that
good
do
Arnold.
it so well,
Yeah.
and there's a million of them. It
Yeah,
turns
yeah.
out.
Which
and that
is
doesn't
funny,
make
isn't
it
it?
bad, but some people have a real ear for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's there's always going to be trends in comedy, obviously, like that's just the way
That's the way
and
it is.
sadly, I feel like with like big characters nowadays, people are like millennial core, like, oh, that's like cringe
you guys
millennial
are getting
core.
it?
Oh yeah.
You have your own okay boomers now?
Oh, yeah, cringe millennial core or whatever. Like,
No, I'm
if you're
learning.
doing like a silly character or whatever, like that, I have always, that like our generation was raised on,
so
like the
excited.
Mike Myers of the world. Gen Z will be like millennial core, like, wow, and they hate it.
No, I'm
Yes.
so happy. Welcome.
I'm here.
It's like the meme where
millennials-
James Franco getting hung, and I'm like, first
yeah,
time?
right.
It's the first time.
Yeah,
but
we're
it makes
experiencing.
me, and they'll be hung too.
Oh yeah. Oh, and
Gen
it's
Z
already
will
starting.
be. It is?
Yes, already. All right, like Gen Alpha or whatever is like skibbity toilet. They say the things that make no sense. and-
Skibbity toilet?
Do you know about skibbity toilet?
Wait, that's real? Because that sounds, no offense,
You're gonna
that
have to
sounds
look it
exactly
up.
like kind of like a middle of the road riff that I would just use as a placeholder.
It's a real thing, and
What?
it also makes no sense.
Skibbity toilet?
Skibbity toilet.
We're done.
I
This
can't believe-
is Garden
I'm
State. Do
34
something
years
that's never
old.
been done.
Oh, trust me, it's been done.
Skibbity toilet?
And the Gen Alpha children of the world are obsessed with skibbity toilet. Ohio Riz, all of this stuff.
No. Ohio Riz?
So Ohio, I guess means. Did you
Sorry.
Jen?
Should be
Gen
sipping
Al-
weak
Gen
tea while you tell me
Alpha's
this.
like- I barely know this
Okay.
stuff, and also I think Gen Alpha would find it deeply disconcerting that I even know any of this. But it's just from being on TikTok and stuff. But
Yeah.
Ohio means bad. Like if you're like, oh, you're so Ohio, like that means you're something.
They're
like,
running out of
you're
ways
bad.
to say stuff.
Literally, they're saying all kinds of weird
Wait,
shit.
is mid over?
Mid might still be a thing. I
Mid's
think
in the
mid's
mix?
still a thing.
Can
I
you say
think
mid
like,
Ohio? It's kind of mid
well, but
Ohio.
Ohio is on like the scale of bad things. Ohio's like you can't be mid Ohio. You know what I mean? Like
It's
it's
the
like
worst.
bad. It's the worst.
Ohio.
to be Ohio.
How does Ohio feel about this?
Probably not good. Ohio feels Ohio about it. Yeah.
Look at me now. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
okay.
and Skibbity Toilet is a YouTube video. Pete, I can't speak to this because I'm also not an expert, but it is
I'm
something.
going to say if it's anything like Haktua, I'm pre-disappointed.
It is not anything like you've ever seen in your life before.
Really?
It makes no sense. It's really weird, and it's a video of like men's heads popping out of toilets,
And they say
and
skibbity.
and it's a song that's like skibbity skibbity, yeah, and it's called skibbity skibbity.
And now it became a term.
It became like a meme,
that
and then
meant-
it became a term. I don't actually know what skibbity toilet itself means.
I'm going to love having a 12-year-old daughter.
You're gonna
I'm
really-
gonna love it.
Do you have a 12-year-old daughter?
No, she's 6, but in 6
Okay, I
years
was
she's
gonna
going to be like,
say.
skibbity toilet.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be like, come again.
Well, in 6 years, skibbity toilet's gonna be
yeah, gone.
out.
It's going to be Ohio.
So skibbity toilet, yeah, just give it a Google. It's weird. It's
Can
weird.
I say, though, do you have this, as someone who's in the mix,
Sure.
there's something, and I've said this before, but I'll say it quickly. There's something about the state. You're in a state watching these videos.
Yeah.
It's another reality.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then you're loving things more than you should. And I've tried to do this as a bit. It doesn't really work. But I go like sending people an isolated TikTok that you died laughing at.
You had such a Boston accent when you just said
Did
that.
I?
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Fucking TikTok.
Fucking
kid.
TikTok.
Now Trump's saying we can't have TikTok.
Oh my
I
god.
knew he was great. Give me a Krella.
Oh my god. I love a crawler.
When you send someone an out of it's like telling someone about your dream.
Yeah.
They won't get it.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes. They
Okay.
do. Sometimes.
You
they
know
do.
that you've got a good friend when they send you a TikTok and you're like, yes, this is me.
Honestly, that's true.
And
when
sometimes you
Val
get
sends me that's how you know each other.
Exactly.
Like you're gonna like this.
Yeah, and you're like, absolutely.
And I will say for parenting and postpartum, and also going back to Irish Catholic boundaryless parents, have you noticed because it's hard to do stand-up about toxic family dynamics.
Sure.
Because people don't want to laugh at it.
Yeah.
But if you're alone in your phone, you can go right at it.
Yeah.
You can make fun of fucking moms
Well,
hard.
and that's what's
people will
gorgeous.
die laughing.
Yes.
I agree.
Well, and that is, I have to say, because your like, you know, your For You page or whatever, or your Discover page, whatever app you're on, is so tailored to you.
Yeah.
It is pretty great because you're getting this like relatable content to
To
you.
you. Yeah,
and so
yeah.
you're like, okay. And it'll find its audience
Yes.
so much more easily than if you are in a live crowd or
I'll
whatever.
put the other shoe on and be like, that is a miracle.
Yeah,
like
it's
if you
cool.
told me when I was 10, like that would exist.
Yeah.
Now that I'm 45, I'm like, I worry that there's gonna be. I've said this a million. That there's gonna be like a goggle, like a set of goggles you put on.
Yeah.
I actually think this is my prediction. Let the internet have my genius, brilliant genius
My
prediction.
breenius.
My breenius prediction.
Yes. Great.
Is that there's a time coming that hardcore pornography will seem quaint. Like it'll be like, I can't believe they used to watch like hardcore because what I think is going to happen with AI. Have you ever watched an AI? Have you ever watched an AI video that's just like morphing and like it's almost like it's tripping. It's like psychedelic and like a dragon turns into a rocket shooting up.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have that 360 hooked up in real time. This sounds like some real Philip K. Dick stuff. But the algorithm will be catered in real time. So it'll be taking data from you.
We'll create our reality.
And it'll know when you're getting bored and it'll turn up sex. It'll know when you're getting overly stimulated. It'll turn up education. It'll make you, now it's just telling you about Bob Dylan in the 60s. Now it's telling you about the Civil War. Now you're getting bored. Now it's just tits. And it's like tits the size of mountains. It's the fucking floating tits.
And then you'll get sick of that.
And
it's
you'll
the
get sick
floating
of,
tits.
but it'll keep you in.
Yeah.
And I've said this a million. I think there's going to be like a time when it's like, don't put on the goggles.
Oh,
because it's like, it's so good.
Yeah.
The Dalai Lama would be like, fuck the bells and the smells. I'm staying in the tube.
Yeah, literally. Well, have you seen WALL-E?
Of course.
You know when they're all like sitting in like little booths, just like with a little TV?
Yes.
I mean, it could become real. You know what I actually have been finding, and this is what is scary. Well, first of all, remember like the metaverse stuff?
Yes.
And it all was just sex. Like immediately everyone was just like trying to
sex?
Yeah, the metaverse just became sex.
But don't you don't have legs.
And trying to like kill people.
Don't you not have legs?
They found out how to do it.
I'll get
I
some
don't know.
legs. Legless.
Hey, you don't need legs to have sex.
Turns out whatever's the bottom's the hole.
Whatever at the bottom's at the hole, and I've always said that.
I've always said this. The perennial wisdom. Wherever it ends, that's the hole.
Okay, but yeah, recovering.
So it all turned into sex and murder.
It all turned into sex and murder, yeah. And I think they were like, we got to shut it down because when there are no rules, whatever, that's where people go. They're like, oh, you know, all this stuff.
Like
but
Westworld.
something, exactly. I do love Westworld. This is the thing. Also, is more and more I see people are having trouble with discerning reality from.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
It's
you mean on
the internet already?
Can I? Okay, so I'm dead.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing this up.
Okay.
I just want to interject my enthusiasm here.
Interject.
When I'm
please.
on Facebook, because I'm old and I like going on Facebook sometimes because you just, who cares?
You got to check
Then
in
you get to the
sometimes.
reels, it's less really, but you get to the reels and the reels are all fake.
Yeah.
They're all fake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but
Well,
you
what do
look
you
at
mean
the
by
comments.
fake? Like what?
I mean not
Like
real.
staged.
Staged.
Yes.
And you or I,
Yes.
this is what's happening. Like, telemarketer calls me and goes, Daddy, or whatever.
Daddy,
I need $50,000. I'm in prison. And I'm like, well,
You're
this
like,
is
Daddy,
fake.
okay.
All right.
Call me
I'm
Daddy.
listening.
All right.
No, but what I'm saying is my mom, my poor sweet mom, might be scammed by something like that.
Sure.
She's, and then there's also people that are getting scammed by the worst sketch comedy that's not sketch comedy.
Yeah.
It's just supposed to be like Michael Jackson was spotted in Paris and they're like,
oh my God. Yeah.
And then was that offensive? But then it's like, it was my best attempt at what it sounded like.
Stereotypes.
Hashtag types.
Yeah.
Me and his. What I'm saying is it's zero quality and the comments are just like, oh my God, I knew it.
I know.
Or like weird CGI and it's a UFO. So tell me what you got.
So I mean, there's like the fake news of it, you know, whatever. Like, or I don't want to say fake news, but like, you know,
it's literally just fake,
made up,
fake internet
stuff. But then there are more insidious things. Like, there's this person on TikTok, and I've gotten their videos on fucking TikTok.
Fucking get off TikTok,
TikTok, Pete, get off TikTok.
Sullivan. He calls his son Sullivan.
Always
Sullivan.
It's always Sullivan.
Sullivan, put down your hockey pads and get on TikTok.
I know so. I could go into Sullivan's right now. Massachusetts Sullivan's.
Mass Sulls,
Yeah, you know them.
the new doc.
But
Mass Sull.
I would watch that.
I'd watch it. I am watching it.
And you're watching it right now. What was I even fucking saying?
You're talking about fake internet videos.
Oh, fake internet videos. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's this woman on TikTok, or this group on TikTok that makes. It's this older woman who I swear I've seen her in like Parks and Rec or something. She's like a woman that I've seen as an actress before, and she basically is like recovering from dementia and saying like, I remember you, and I remember this, and I remember my life. And her daughter's crying. Her daughter's wearing like a military uniform, of course. And everybody in the comments is like, it's a miracle. Oh my God, this is so incredible, blah, blah, blah. And nowhere does it say that this is fake or that this is whatever. And everybody is believing it in the comments. And I feel insane because I'm like, this is fake.
This is fake.
It's so clearly fake.
This is fake.
And it would be different if it was like, oh, here's a simulation of what could,
Here's
whatever.
a sweet video.
Right.
No,
or
they're
here's,
saying it's
exactly.
real.
And they're saying it's real. And what's funny is that if you go to that person's page, there are all these videos of like, that the younger daughter being a different character and whatever. Like if you
took 5 seconds,
truly 5 seconds
you
to
would
look into
see.
it, you'd be like, oh, that
You
was
would
fake.
see.
And then move on with your life.
Mary Liz, I couldn't be more excited about this topic because, okay, so
It's
Matt
crazy.
McCarthy has a great TikTok where he finds amazing stuff on old VHS tapes, just to
Yeah.
give him a shout out. He's on TikTok more, meaning I'm not on it. And he'll show me stuff. And I'm like, Matt, that's fake. One of the things that goes, and I'd say this if Matt was there.
Yeah.
If you're just binging and like getting in the hypnotic trance, one of the things that goes is discernment. Because there's a
Yeah.
very, very popular video of a woman, older woman it seems, feeding ducks. You've seen this video.
I'm sure.
She's feeding ducks, and then the ducks start attacking her, and she's like, it's like Swedish. She's like, oh, follow, follow, follow. It's very funny.
Okay.
Here's my ish, Mary Liz.
You think it's fake? You know it's fake.
Here's why it's fake.
Yeah. Why is it fake?
Because it's an old woman being attacked by geese, and she keeps him framed. She's getting bitten by geese, and she stays framed.
Right.
She's panicking, and she keeps her arm out, and the kid,
like the
and she's filming
cinematography
it.
is
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
There's a video of a guy who goes like, I'm going to do a shot, and then he turns around and walks into his garage door.
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
fake.
that's
Come
fake.
on. Yeah.
It's fake. I'm screaming it's fake. And no one is like, that's fake. They don't care if it's fake. It's Wally. They're just going, ha, ha,
Yeah, they're like, ha, ha, ha. I do that next.
I did that.
Yeah, yeah.
She's hot.
Yeah. Well, and this is the trouble, though. She's hot.
She's hot.
Oh, she's hot.
Wood. They just write wood now.
Skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet.
Yeah, exactly. But truly, that's like every single, almost every single video I come by now. There's at least some little element of like, something is being tricked, something is being weird, something is off. But now it's happening where people will have pretend Karens like come into their business
Fake Karens.
and be like, you should have paid me yesterday. And it's so clear. Those of us who know good acting, we know.
But
when
the
it's bad
discernment
acting
is out the window.
Yeah. And so we're like, okay, obviously this is a fake Karen. But then the person's like, a Karen came to my business. Go to the link in my bio and like book a service with me. Cause like how horrible that this Karen like ruined my one client. So they're making money off of it. And that ain't cool.
That's all
And
I got.
the tire's out of air.
I hate it.
I hate it.
The internet.
And we can't do anything about it.
I know sometimes maybe this is terrible, but I'm like, maybe they're just over there and they're believing the fake UFO videos. But then you go like, these people,
Yeah.
they also get a say.
It is an uh-oh.
It's
and
an
that's
uh-oh.
what's a little bit scary because they get to also decide sort of how our lives go. But you know what? I would love to be a blissfully unaware person. Like I'd love to be someone
chowderhead?
I would love to be a chowderhead. I would love to be
Just a straight up C-Conk chowderhead.
I would just love to be someone who's like, that's a funny video. And then just, you know what I mean? Instead of being like, that's fake. Like I get so mad about it, Pete. I get pissed
but I wouldn't
off.
trade it for the world. One of my dear friends,
How
his
nice would it be,
mother on Facebook posted the Onion headline about how Shamu is kept in a giant Ziploc bag when they clean his tank. And she posted it and was like, this is an outrage. This animal should be treated better and all this. Not freed from SeaWorld, but just not put in a Ziploc bag. And it was like, look, she's out there. She's on the road. She's on the road.
She's got her
Forget
driver's
about voting.
license.
She's also making split-second
I know.
driving decisions.
That actually, Pete, that's usually where my mind goes. Is like
To the road.
Like to the road, because I'm thinking my mind's on the road. I get really scared of like, you know. Again, I get scared of like not having control, and the thought of like people driving and also like believing that Shamu is kept in a big bag.
Yeah.
Like,
well, she probably drove later that day and drove poorly because she was so mad. That
she's pissed about Shamu being kept in a big Ziploc bag. Hey, I feel like a lot of that is, you know, maybe she's got to get a sense of humor.
Possibly. Her name is Linda. Anyway, because it would be funny if it would be possibly Linda. But anyway, what if she rear-ended somebody and was like, sorry, I've just been, my mind's been a mess since I found out Shamu's kept
Did you
in a
know
giant.
that they keep Shamu? And then that person would go, oh my God, and he'd be outraged by it too.
And then they'd go get
two
more rear-end
Exactly.
accidents.
And then they'd be spreading, you know, fake news.
Here's fake news.
Fake news.
Beautiful fake news. I love my news fake. He likes it.
He does. He loves fake news. He does.
I love it. It's the best.
He does
Real
love
news,
it.
boring.
Real news.
Fake news.
He loves entertainment.
Yes, he does. Fair. Let me ask you this. How did you, sorry to be so but I'm fan heavy research light because there's not a lot about you online. So here's my question.
For good reason.
Real, because you're taking a page from your male partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did this happen? Like, did you strategically enter the influencer comedy YouTube space?
No. I studied acting in school. I did improv in New York for a while, you know, like auditioned in New York for theater, etc. And then moved to LA when I was like mostly booking like commercial and TV stuff.
First commercial?
First commercial, 7-Up 10.
7-Up 10, only 10 calories?
I believe only 10 calories. And I don't think it's on the market anymore, people.
7-Up 10?
7-Up 10.
That sounds so fake.
It was. I swear to God, I think it was literally sold for like a month or something. And then I guess my commercial didn't do a good job
because it
top. I didn't sell enough.
Katie, would you please Google 7-Up 10? Is it 7-Up with 10 calories? Because I need to know.
I think it is.
If there was a market for like a
what
diet
else
soda
would it
with
be?
a
10?
little bit of sugar.
What would else be 10?
10 times the caffeine, which would be 0 because there's no
because
caffeine
it doesn't have
in
any.
7-Up.
And that's math.
It was a diet variant.
So 10 calories?
Yep.
10 calories. And
Okay,
I
did you?
cried in the commercial.
What?
Yeah.
You had to cry on command?
Because I was like, okay, it was like, you know what? I forget what it was. But yeah, I had to cry on command and it was my first like improv audition where they basically were just like, just talk for like a while about, you know, boyfriend troubles or something and cry. And so I did. And that's what got it for me. And I was
in
like,
the commercial,
improv.
you're also crying?
I'm crying in the commercial.
Because you...
I'm like, my mom said this is this. And my friends are like, ugh, and they drink their soda. And that's 7-Up 10. And that was in 2013. That was a long time ago.
Over 7-Up 10 years ago.
Yeah, well over 7-Up 10
well
years
over
ago.
7-Up 10 years ago.
And
they should start calling regular 7-Up 320.
right, like history should be measured in 7-Up tens.
I believe it was Abe Lincoln that said that.
Seven up
10s.
7-Up 10s ago. And that's history. And that's history.
And that's American history.
The microphone.
You can. And that's American history.
And that's American history, people. And what the hell was I even, where were we talking?
You're talking about how you got into, how you fell backwards into
So I did a
the
commercial.
internet.
I did 7-Up 10. I did a couple other commercials. And then I moved to LA. And then COVID quite literally hit right after I moved to LA.
Oh, no.
And so I was like, okay, so what do I do? And everyone was flocking to the internet. Everyone was like, okay. And I had done a couple of little like things on Instagram or something before where I was like, Downton Abbey impressions and stuff, you know, little things like that.
But now you're sequestered.
And then, so
Are
now
you
we're
with male
sequestered.
partner?
Yes, I have.
So you're not alone.
So I met my husband when I was 19 we met in college.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've been together for a long time.
That was kind of your bet.
For a long
So we've been together quite a long time.
Quite a long time.
Quite a bit of a spell.
I love the guy. I love him so much.
I love you so much.
Hello, darling. Love you.
Here's to another 20 years.
Yeah, would love to stay together forever.
Stay together forever.
We speak in British accents to each other
A lot.
all day. Yeah.
Oh,
he's
that's what I was
really
gonna-
good.
I believe it.
Yeah.
The way I solve things with Val is I often go, if I have to confront her on something,
Yeah.
God help me. Let's say like I wouldn't do this because I don't mind breaking down the boxes, but no one breaks down the boxes. And if I wanted her to break down the boxes before she put them in the recycling, and maybe I do because I know she'll listen to this.
Sure.
Val, please. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It makes me feel like a lumberjack or something.
Oh.
Get out there.
Yeah.
So anyway, but if I wanted to, I would say, this is embarrassing. I would go, would you join me in my initiative to break down the boxes before you? Like, I have to make it a kind of a bit.
Yeah,
or I'll
you
do it
kind
as
of do.
Kennedy. Will you join me in my initiative to break down the boxes?
That's very good.
Before we put them in the garbage.
Wait, that's very funny.
It fills up very quickly.
Yeah.
We need to, Amazon, you can do it with your thumbnail. It's not a hard thing.
No, the Amazon's the easiest.
It's a
The
pleasure.
Amazon's the easiest one to do.
You know they figured it out. In the same way that Skittles were like, how long before these things should start melting in your mouth?
Yeah.
Amazon was like,
Make
what
it easy to
holds
break
it?
this stuff down.
Make it
I know.
A pleasure.
And
Make
it's
it a pleasure.
It actually is. It's very
It is.
satisfying.
You feel great.
But then Val goes, ha ha, yes, I'll do that with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she also does join me in
laughs.
my initiative.
Yeah,
Would
she'll join you in the
my
initiative.
Lila?
Well, that's good because then it's sort of like you're inviting her to join in sort of this thing with you, and it's a funny voice.
You need to make for highly sensitive people that are bad at confrontation need bits. That's why I love that.
They're
Going
protective.
Back, they're protective, and it's funny to just be like, all right. Have you
Yeah.
noticed that this light is left on all night a lot?
Right.
And then what are you saying? You're saying,
Bathroom's quite stinky, darling.
Yeah.
Can we do something about that,
you know,
my
there's
dear?
a fan for a reason.
Yeah.
Some people run it while they're doing the damage.
Yeah. Seems you forgot to feed the dog this morning, my love. Seems you forgot.
Yeah. I seem to remember somebody saying that they would help with the dog.
Yeah.
Help.
Seems slipped your mind, did it?
Did it
Yeah.
slip your mind?
Did it slip your mind,
Did it
darling?
slip it?
Are you up the duff, darling?
You put me in the pud.
You put me in the pudding
You
club.
put me in the pud.
I'm in the pudding club.
So you were a 7
Yeah.
of 10. You were TikTok wave of
Yeah.
pandemic.
So then I was like, okay, what makes me excited?
That sounds like a bit. People stopping a bit. And you put it. So you're in
So
the
anyways,
pandemic.
you're in the pandemic. So you're in the depths of COVID.
That's another one.
That's
when
another
you're on a
one. Write it
podcast and the
down.
bit stops.
Oh, honestly.
When you're on a podcast and the bit stops,
Okay.
you have two ideas. When you
Record.
want to say I love you before they're ready, and when you're on a podcast and the bit stops.
Thank you so much. This is the only reason I came
You
here
don't
today
need
was
it.
to workshop
Look, you're
new
here,
ideas
you're
with
giving
you.
your time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
Go on.
I'm gonna have you sign something to
I
make
will
sure.
sign something.
Great. But yeah, the
The pandemic.
Yeah, so then I was going, okay, what brings me joy? What brings, people that I love joy? Maybe I'll just start doing accents online. So I posted a couple videos, little accents here and there and stuff. And people were like, oh, these are good. I was like, oh, okay, I'll do more. And then I was doing like the thing that I think a lot of people did during the pandemic, which was like watching franchises of things, like all of the Harry Potters, all of the Marvel movies, all like marathons of, the sequels of things. And I was, I was franchising.
Franchise it out.
As they say.
Yeah.
And I was watching the Pirates of the Caribbean, and Keira Knightley's like mouth in that. I just was like, her acting, the way she normally speaks, and then her acting mouth are different mouths.
Oh, wow.
And Johnny Depp in that movie too was doing weird stuff with his mouth when he was acting, and then when you see him in person, when in interviews and stuff, you're like, he's not doing that. So I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. A lot of actors like use their mouths to like really mean it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a funny concept. So I made a video that was like mouth acting.
Yes.
And
can you show me what Keira does?
She's
Sorry to
like,
put a coin
she'll
in the
go,
machine here, but I'd love to see it.
Yeah, she'll be like, Alexi, like she'll do like like she'll snarl when she's really
she
intense.
does do that.
But then in interviews, she sort of talks like that, and whatever, like she's not doing it like that. And then like Johnny Depp in that movie was going like, like as Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's funny that people do that. And then once you realize it, now that I've pointed this out to you, every movie you watch now, there are certain people, like Emma Stone is a mouth actor.
Emma Stone's a mouth actor.
There are certain people that are just mouth actors.
Or
Drew Barrymore, famously Drew Barrymore.
Yes, but she does.
And that's
talk
my
like
Drew.
that.
Yeah, she does normally talk like that, but when she is acting too, it
up.
gets exacerbated. It
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
So I made a video that was like sort of pointing that out, and people were like, that, I really relate to that. That's funny. And so it got a ton of views, and then it became, that was like my thing, was like mouth acting, which sort of turned into impressions. But like my page has always sort of been like, that's my niche, is like impressions and accents and stuff. Yeah, so I have I mean, I'm an actor, like a
fell
comedian,
over into
writer. Yeah, like
then-
that's what I do.
To dig a little deeper. Did you at some point, and I'd love to hear about the process, go, okay, there's some wind behind my sail.
Yeah.
I'm moving in a direction.
Yeah.
Got my boyfriend since I was 19.
Yeah.
Got some movement here.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to research how to like add fuel to the fire. Did you like look into thumbnails and titles and how frequently you should be posting? Are you conscious of that?
I've looked into that. I think it got to a point where it was so unpredictable. Like I just like the algorithm is so fickle that I just don't think, and maybe this is cynical of me, I just don't think that like is a thing. Like I don't think it works.
That's really funny.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
I do think probably like the thumbnails of it all, whatever, but I guess I just was like, I don't want to put all my eggs in the internet basket, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the kind of like I don't know, like I just kept making videos and just like posting more and more, and
That's cool.
so I don't know. I didn't really get too into like the nitty gritty of
And
it.
you
Some
don't
people
let someone
hire
help
an
you?
editor.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No,
Really?
I haven't.
You're out there editing.
I'm out there editing.
She's out there editing.
I edit. I just have, I mean, I feel like with comedy, so much of it is you know your own style of comedy. So it's hard to like hand something over to someone and then have them edit it,
Yes, for sure.
you know? So I don't know, at least for me, at least for my videos.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and sometimes I've done little like collaborations with people or brand deals or something where I just hand them raw footage and they edit it and it just never quite feels the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like, because there did come a point where I was like, okay, I can jump over into the internet thing and become like a straight up influencer person, really go like, put 2 feet into that. And I just was like, I'm an actor, I'm a writer. Like that's what I would rather be doing and focusing on. And so the internet's almost, at this point, I see it sort of as like, if I have a fun idea, if something really strikes me, then I'll post it.
Like Rob Delaney.
Yeah.
Do you know Rob?
I do know Rob. I mean, I don't
he's-
know him, but I know of him. Yeah.
The internet. Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't mean
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Are you friends with Rob?
You know Rob? Do you know Rob?
Well, Rob moved, I believe. I
Oh.
used to see Rob.
He's
from
in the
time to
UK
time.
now,
I
isn't
believe
he?
he's in the UK, but he was in Home Sweet Home Alone, which
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of people saw.
So many people.
Better than the original, as
Was the
People said that.
People said that.
Macaulay Culkin said that.
Yeah, famously.
He said, "They beat me." That's what he said. I don't know why.
And with the hands, too.
Yeah. He never.
still does that?
He never does the hands.
And he
but
did
he
that
saw
for
Home
you.
Sweet Home Alone,
And he said
he did it. We
better.
were alone.
Yeah.
We're
Okay, so
often-
you don't have
Macaulay's
anyone.
always alone. I
Yeah,
don't know if
yeah.
you know that.
And at home.
And I went up to him, and he went, "Home Sweet Home Alone." You beat me.
Oh
That's
my
what
God.
He
He
said.
said, you beat me?
He said to me, but he meant the movie.
Wow.
You beat me.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I said, "Oh, wait, do it again." And he said,
And he said
"Never."
no.
And then
then
Kieran came in.
And then he was like, no, I can't do it with Kieran because you can't have a witness to that.
No.
Oh
and
my
Kieran was
God.
like, "Yeah, fucking."
Yeah,
get the
Kieran was
fuck-
like, yeah,
get the
hey,
fuck-
motherfucker.
Look
What
at
the fuck
look
are
at
you fucking saying?
Yeah, what are you?
Yeah.
With the titties floating in the fucking with the fucking
I bet Kieran Culkin would know what we're talking about with the floating boobs.
Fucking yeah,
I think everybody would.
of course. It's my Kieran Culkin.
Yeah, no,
with
yeah.
the titties floating. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
He does do that.
He does. Yeah, I'm not the only
Yeah.
one that noticed that this is my Kieran Culkin impression.
That's really good.
fucking yeah. Fuck you.
That's funny.
It's all right.
That's funny.
I tried
He's
for
funny, this guy.
I tried for a long time to do Jeremy Irons too, where he's like, "Yeah, Dad, it's gonna be fucking tight."
Yeah.
Tried it.
Kendall Roy.
Yeah, and fuck off.
Oh,
Dad.
fuck off. I think it's so funny that he is the voice of McDonald's.
He is.
Yes.
Get yourself a fucking
Have you-
Big Mac. No, I haven't heard it.
He literally was like, Big Mac, quarter pounder. Yeah. And he goes, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, at the end of the
Did it
commercial.
happen after Succession?
Yes,
Because
I
in
think so.
Succession, he sort of famously eats McDonald's.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess they were like, let's take this thing all the way home, and they were like, now he's the voice of McDonald's.
He did a lot of commercials.
Yeah, but I just think it's so funny that they got him to go. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's like getting Trent Reznor to be like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like so cool.
It's like this guy who, yeah. I just am amazed by that. Meanwhile, I'll do it.
I'd do it.
I'll do any commercial. Any commercial. I'll do it. And I've done it.
I wouldn't do a McDonald's commercial.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay.
These are the ABCs in me.
Yeah.
Now they want me. No. Now
Do
that
they?
I said that.
Yeah, they're gonna
be
call
like,
you. They're gonna be
hey,
like, we need
Super Bowl.
you.
Cut to me and Val being like, people are buying it
Right.
anyway. I mean, it might as well be
Yeah,
me.
it might as well be you.
So yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll eat a fry.
Great. I'd love a fry, especially in my current state.
I mean,
I'll eat anything at this point.
Let me ask you something. If you got poop on your hand, would you just wipe it with some Kleenex and just be like, I'm done, I'm good? Or would you want water involved? That's what a bidet is. That's what a Tushy bidet is. Tushy bidet is here to change and upgrade your toilet game in the new year. Me in January, I'm like, I'm gonna eat more veggies and hike. Me in February, I just want my asshole to stop burning when I go to the toilet. And now the Tushy bidet is here, and it is cleaning your butt in the way that I'm gonna say it, the Lord intended, with water. You gotta spray it away, get it clean just like it was crap on your hand. You gotta get a power blaster on there. It's like dry leaves out of your driveway with a high-powered hose. A Tushy bidet uses a precise stream of clean water to get your butt tip-top, especially now that it's gonna be spring. You gotta be clean down there. Come on, spring cleaning. Tushy is easy, it's fast, and once you try it, you'll never go back. I thought it would feel weird or have a hard time finding my beehole. Nope. Bullseye, first try, it feels A-okay, A stands for ass, and the first time it hits it, no issue, and now there's no going back. Makes pooping any other way feel primitive, backwards, and Stone Age. This is like a midday shower, and in 5 seconds after every poo, the way God intended. They have lots of different models. The classic permanent bidet that attaches to your existing toilet, which is what I have and love. And we just got the Tushy Travel, which is amazing, portable, and travels with you discreetly, so there's no more compromising your number 2 game when you're on the move. Tushy bidets are easy to install. I'm talking less than 10 minutes, and those 10 minutes will change your life. Get a real clean bottom and help keep away hemorrhoids, UTIs, and yeast infections, and step your butt into the future with a science fiction level of clean with Tushy. Just sit down and relax, turn the knob, and spray a precise stream of fresh water at your butt. Every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. So stay shower fresh now that it's spring cleaning, and join the 2 million butts who've already switched to Tushy. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off their first bidet when you use code WEIRD at checkout. That's 10% off your first bidet at hellotushy.com/weird with promo code WEIRD. HelloTushy, TUSHY.com/weird with promo code WEIRD, and tell them that we sent you and thank me later.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
Thanks.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Sorry. Pete-splaining pregnancy here.
That's okay.
It's the realest thing you'll ever do.
I am starting to sense that.
In the best way.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
only a
Oh,
good
yeah.
way. Meaning it's the opposite of the internet.
Yeah, it connects you to, yeah. Well, and that's what's funny too, is that I just, like this now happening, I'm like, I don't see everything. A lot of things seem unimportant.
Yes.
In comparison.
Yes.
And it puts things into perspective in a pretty gorgeous way.
And then it becomes play. Like you're doing this, and do you know the Jen?
I do.
Do you share that? No.
I don't know.
No, you don't have to.
I might keep it to
Keep
myself.
it to yourself. No, there's no mistake.
Is that
anymore.
weird?
No.
I've not really talked
I'm
publicly
Dracula,
about
dead
it.
and loving it.
Okay.
Don't talk about the gender of your
Dead
baby.
and loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, you're a disappointment.
They should
You
be
don't
doing,
have the killer instinct.
They should do that on SNL. Did they do that already?
What?
That
The Succession.
yeah, like someone's got to make fun of him doing McDonald's.
I agree. It's us.
Maybe it's us, and maybe we just did it, and that was it.
It's us.
I think that's it, and we can kind of sign, seal, deliver, and that bit is done.
Yeah.
Or we could take it
to the max.
take it further.
Tell me, how far along
Anyway,
are you? Are you open?
I'm halfway through.
Halfway.
I'm halfway.
It goes so fast. I mean, it also goes very slow. It's just
weird.
like raising a child.
Yes.
I shouldn't have said that. I should
No,
say,
no, it is-
how's
it's-
your experience?
No, it's true. Like the beginning goes very slowly because I was not well. You know, at the beginning you're like the first trimester is like whoa, and then it goes fast.
Yeah.
You're like whoa, how did I get halfway through already?
Sorry, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Like
I'm excited.
I don't want to be in advice mode, but it's just like It sounds like you're already doing it. It's just like green light all of it.
Yeah.
My favorite thing that we actually used, there were two things that we used for the birth. One was drink while you pour. So if your husband is helping you, he needs to also help himself.
Oh, I love that.
If you're napping, he needs to nap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you're snacking, he needs to snack. Don't
drink
be a
while you
martyr.
pour. That's
Drink while you
nice.
pour.
Yeah.
And then let the monkey do it, which is a weird one. Have you heard let the monkey do
No,
it?
what's that?
To me, it's just like we're primates. Like fucking own it and let the monkey part of you fucking squat out that baby.
Sure.
And
Get feral.
Don't be Downton Abbey about it.
Okay.
Be fucking real.
Yeah.
Let the monkey do it.
I'm kind of excited. In my family, we've always said, let your lizard brain take over.
There you go.
Like, use your lizard brain.
That's it.
Yeah.
And it knows what to do. And I think this is one of, like, when it comes to your wedding night, like, or the first time you have sex, I don't think you can let the lizard brain do it.
No,
like,
probably not.
You know what I mean? Like,
there are some technicalities to that.
With pregnancy, I think you can. You can go into a gear.
Yeah.
Are you going to do epidur early?
I think.
Yeah.
You
don't have a birth plan?
I'm working with a doula on my birth plan.
That doula is going to try to talk you into a natural childbirth. I'm going to tell you right now. What's that
I'm
doula's
sure
name?
she will.
If it's sunset or something like that,
it's
she
adjacent.
is going to definitely tell you about how you're going to want to be there for the biggest day of your life.
Yeah.
And we were planning on doing that. And then 58 hours or 50 hours into our labor, Val's like, give me that. And it was the best. It was like we both had a Coors Light.
I think I'm just like, whatever can make it, like, I'm not a hero and I'm not interested in being, I don't need to be a hero in my birth. Whatever will make it, I would like it to be, look, it's never going to go the way that you plan. Like, I know that. Yeah. That's what everyone tells me already is like, you make a plan and God laughs. Like, you think you know what it's going to be like and then it's different. But if I can make it a little easier for myself.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'll tell you this.
A little less pain. Why not?
If I was doing it, I would get 2 epidurals for sure. And that's not to be scary. I'm just to green light the like.
We've got the technology.
We have a technology.
Use
for
it.
every woman, look, full respect, and I could talk out the other side of my mouth about the virtues of a natural childbirth.
Sure.
But for every woman in Beverly Hills, or actually I should have said Venice or Santa Monica, squatting out in a pool and like screaming.
Yeah.
There's so many women, like the echoes of generations of women that are like, you mean you had something that would have...
Right. Excuse me?
What's that?
Why
like,
did he not do that?
Damp cloth
I
and
know.
candles.
Well, and
you
that's
had help.
They're like dying in childbirth. Yeah.
You said no.
I mean, that's
exactly.
the thing. That's the thing is I'm like, what's seeming to be, what's already great about pregnancy is that it's so different for every person and like whatever works for you.
That's right. Well, I should say
and that's a problem on the internet though, is that
do what's right for you.
Yeah. There are very judgmental people, especially with pregnancy, et cetera, online. And everything gets scrutinized and whatever.
It doesn't stop, by the way.
I know.
The micro judgments.
Yeah.
And I'm not even mad at it, but parents, what I wasn't ready for, and I'm excited for you to see, there's all these little flexes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to write a joke about the lies we tell you how old you are. And in like your 20s, you lie to your doctor about how many drinks you've had.
Yes.
And after you have a baby, you lie to other parents about how much screen time your kids get.
Yeah.
Like that
God.
becomes the new lie.
That has been all over my like For You page lately. People talking about screen time.
It's a thing.
I mean, there's a lot of shaming around, like, people using devices, whatever. That's the thing. I'm like, I'm not interested. I will not be sharing anything about parenting on social media.
Parent free.
It's going to be a parent free zone for me in terms of content. Because
I love it.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Truly,
That's
with
true.
everything you share about parenting, especially as a mom. I mean, look,
It's a can of
everybody,
worms.
but it is a can of worms. Exactly.
Well, you become an avatar for their mom. People get real touchy about it.
Yeah.
Real touchy.
Yeah.
About
I mean,
it.
anytime kids are involved, right, of course, it's like a sensitive subject, but I'm just like, I don't, and that's what's great about the internet too, is that you can share as much as you want, you can share as little as you want.
Yeah.
And that's,
Going back to the internet being great, the memes that Val and I send each other about parenting are very, 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 very funny.
Yeah.
Very, very funny.
I think people really find, and that's such a huge niche is like parent stuff.
Because you're losing
jokes.
your mind.
Yeah.
There'll be a time when you're with your newborn and you're on a yoga ball and you have no connection to the outside world.
Yeah.
And you'll jump on there for 5 minutes and you'll just see other people going through that too.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not saying that's as good as obviously being with people, but being with people is very good for postpartum.
Yeah. Well, and when you're feeling isolated, when
dose.
it's I honestly, I mean, also I'm saying like I'm not sharing anything about parenting, famous last words, because as soon as that becomes like my life, obviously that's going to be my lived experience, and so it's like then I'm going to want to share things, create
I'm
comedy
over here
around
wanting
it.
you to do it because it would be
Funny.
It's funny. It's so funny. Well, it's one of those things where you go like, oh, I see why they make so many movies and TV shows about this, is because you do see like kids, there's just so much drama.
Yeah.
Like Leela was sick and like we're on a text chain with families that know she's sick, but we want to go to the coffee shop. And you're just like living in drama.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's funny when the parent who's on the chain sees you at the coffee shop and they know your kid is sick and you're like,
right. You're like,
actually didn't go, but
I mean, something also that I'm learning is that it seems like kids are sick all the time.
You'll be sick for about 3 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I think I need to start preparing now. Yeah. As soon as they go to preschool, they're sick all the time.
You're dead.
Yeah. Okay.
And
as long as I know that now.
And it's fine.
Sure.
And the other, sorry, I say this every time, but the other great piece of advice, Rich Blomquist, who's Christian Shaw's husband, said, just pretend you're camping. And for some reason, that really helped the first 4 weeks.
Because,
pretend you're camping.
Because you're surviving, essentially.
Yeah. And if you sleep poorly when you're camping, you're like, we're camping.
We're camping. Yeah.
If you think it's your life, you'll hate it.
That's kind of genius.
But if you're like, we're camping.
We're just on a camping trip for a little while.
You're on a camping trip.
Oh my God, I'm gonna take that.
And also, yes, I think keep pen and paper handy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the most inspired time you'll have, but there's something about interrupting your sleep that I think is actually a creativity hack.
Really?
Have you ever noticed?
Like you're going slightly insane.
Yeah, you're going a little insane.
Yeah.
But there were like in this house where Leela was a newborn, envelopes where I just write down bits, and they became like really great bits.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit like being hungover. You have no filter.
Yeah.
You give zero fucks. So you're just like saying what you think.
Sure.
So I
feel like when in the past when I've been a little high.
Yeah.
You're sort of, because you're a little bit just out of the.
You're right. You're a little high.
You're floating a little bit above kind of the norm.
Yes.
So your brain's kind of.
Yes.
But I that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. I mean,
oh my God.
Who knows, dude?
I'm in for a wild ride.
Yeah. Toads.
Is there anything what did I write down or what did you write down that we were like, oh, we need to circle back to that?
Just
Do you remember?
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. Oh, yeah. Wait, but there was something else about Austin Powers that I was supposed to talk about.
Austin Powers, floating tips.
Oh, my video. Yeah. I made a video. Okay, so Hugh Jackman once, because I was like, I really don't want to forget this because
Greatest Showman?
The greatest Showman himself,
yes.
Hugh Jackman, who I love.
Hugh deserves better than that.
I love to do impressions of Hugh Jackman singing because I will never do him speaking, only singing. Have you seen Les Mis?
No.
Then this won't make any sense to you. But you've heard him sing?
I think so.
He's like that's how he sings.
Really?
Yes. Have you not? Okay.
I haven't heard him sing.
I've done this bit forever where
Can I play it on my phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Les Mis, it's Russell Crowe and him together, and Russell Crowe like is the lead singer of a band, but like can't really sing. And so he's like, President Fulton, say someone. Like, that's how he sings.
No.
Like, it's hollow.
No.
You know what that means?
No.
And then Hugh Jackman goes, it means I'm free. Yeah. And I love to do that bit. He's like,
my God. I don't know if it was worth making this episode not ad viable, but we can just cut that out.
Yeah, I can sing over that part, and then people will believe that it's Hugh Jackman singing, and it won't be actually, and it'll be protected by the parody clause or something.
Ooh,
right?
Oh yeah, if you did that,
we'll have legal look into it.
I'll just get that email that says it's been flagged. That's all I know.
Sorry about that.
No, we'll take it out.
But now you know that's how Hugh Jackman sings. It's like, yeah, his vibrato is unique. Anyway, I consume a lot of content surrounding Hugh Jackman, but he has this video or an interview where he talks about certain words he uses to like get into different accents that he's doing or different characters that he's doing. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Cause I definitely do that for impressions. Like I have little, cause what we were talking about earlier, touchstones. Like touchstones. Exactly. And so I made a whole video about like my touchstones for different like characters and impressions and stuff. But I think that's so interesting, isn't it?
Me too. I want to hear. I want to know some of them, but I don't want to put you on the spot. Mine for Stephen Wright is cesarean. Cesarean section.
Oh, that's good.
My friend had a cesarean section. You can't tell, but every once in a while, when he goes out the house, he leaves through the window.
The window.
The window.
I love when people use
Cesarean.
their tongue for D. Window. Yeah, that's sort of a Jersey-ish thing, right? The window. I love that.
I'm trying to think of my Pacino is just. I don't have one.
Yeah,
for
you've been
Pacino.
kind of doing Pacino in and out today
during this episode.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens. And
Do you go to
Trump
Pacino?
especially, like, if you start doing Trump, I'll be on stage and I'm like, I
Yeah.
just said that like Trump because he talks in a funny way. Like, I mean, it's like funny. It's like literally
right. He is
a funny way to
exactly.
talk.
He's got a silly way of speaking.
But Pacino,
Yeah.
I don't know. Mary Elizabeth Kelly, how are you? Everything he says, he's like unveiling it.
Yeah.
He's pulling away a silk napkin. What do you think of this?
A little pause.
Now he's old. He doesn't sound like that anymore.
No.
He used
You
to.
know,
Now,
I
I can't do him now.
met him.
You met me.
We've met before.
Oh.
We've met before, Al.
I can't believe I forgot that.
And
I find that hard to
he actually
believe.
kind of still sounds like that.
Do I?
Yes. You still sound like that way, sir. And he was
A word?
He's
Word up.
and you know what? He's got some young kids.
Yes, he does. I know. I have a joke about it.
And
now,
I bet
it gets
they- do you?
groans. People don't like it
You know, I think that's funny.
because they love Pacino so much.
They love the
Now I
Pacino.
got a couple of little rascals running around. I show them my movies on film.
Do you have Pacino in your set?
When I do that joke,
Yeah. Because
now
that's good.
it does so poorly that I have to be like, I do not like that joke, and then they like that.
And then you're right. Okay.
Then they like
You
it.
judge yourself as Pacino.
I judge it as Pacino.
Yeah.
But it's weird. You give that many great performances, people don't want to hear you're going to.
I know. Well, people put him on a
pedestal.
But he's a human.
I'm
He's
just a human.
You're just a human, Al.
But I get a floor of the Four Seasons when I stay there. A whole floor.
Does he?
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. Ha!
Yeah, that's good. Sometimes throwing a little like, oh, ha.
Oh! He's always
Yeah.
getting goosed. Ha!
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
he is.
He got me.
He loves a little ad lib, it seems, you know?
He loves a lib.
But I guess for me, I always think,
I feel like
so for me,
you're keeping the episode
So
on
for
track right now
me-
because I'm
no.
just like, and you're like, all right, keeping it on track.
oh, but it's so fun, isn't it? Just
It
to like,
is. Take a little
just to
break.
sort of live as somebody else for a little bit.
Just be Pacino.
I love to, I think it's great that you're Pacino, and I think people shouldn't be afraid to just
Slip.
as I do in this video. Just go into something else for a little bit. Go into somebody else. Be somebody else.
somebody
Do a little something
else. What's your touchstone? What's
Oh.
your favorite? Because I love your Emma Thompson. very
Oh,
much.
thank you.
Yeah.
I love her. I'm trying to think for Emma, I just do her mouth.
That's it.
That's it. What? So I guess maybe
Is
it's
Emma
so.
Thompson? I'm very bad with actors. She's in Love Actually, right? She goes,
Yes.
but you've made a fool out of me.
Yes, but you made a fool out of
You've made the life that I live quite foolish.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Alec Rickman, I'm a fool.
I'm
a fool.
When she goes,
I've-
my favorite quote from that movie of her is when she goes, would you stay? Always knowing life's going to be a little bit worse.
Ugh,
Or
chills.
would you cut and run? Yeah.
Chills.
That is,
I can't
oh,
handle
what a
that.
tragic character.
When she goes in the bedroom and like
Oh,
cries
she's like-
alone, I'm dead.
Yeah, sobbing.
I'm dead.
And
I cry
Joni
every
Mitchell
time.
plays.
That movie's
it
corny
is-
as fuck at certain
yeah,
points,
and
then
weird,
and then
but-
that storyline.
Yeah.
I'm
You know
a
what's the most
fool.
realistic part of that movie is that she and Hugh Grant play siblings, because I do impressions of Hugh Grant all the time, and he also has his face is sort of like that, and they're very.
Would we call it Jimmy? Would we
call it Jimmy? That is. I forgot that that's from that movie, and that's also excellent. But every time I do impressions of the two of them, people are like, they're like the male-female versions of each other.
Oh my
So I'm like,
God.
okay, perfect that
Can
they're
you put
cast
them
as
next
siblings.
to each other?
Well, I did a Love Actually, all of the impressions of Love Actually, you know, the Keira Knightleys of it all. That movie is full of mouth actors, as they say.
But not Martin Freeman. He's hard to do. No one does Martin
I've
Freeman.
never done Martin Freeman, and he's been
He's very-
a
he's
request.
kind He's kind of like a...
Yeah, he always seems to be sort of caught
Very
off guard, you
surprised.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Yeah. I'll have to work on him. I've never even considered.
There's
doing
one
Martin.
line in the original Office where he goes, Don't do that. I can't do it. It's higher than I want it to be.
I love
Don't do that.
the British Office.
Me too.
I love Ricky Gervais.
Great.
That guy's fucking funny.
Unfair.
It is
Unfairly
unfair.
funny.
I know. Especially
talented.
as that character, I'm like, damn, that really no one.
Well, you know.
Well, and I do love Steve Carell as the American
of course.
version.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's over.
very different.
We used
very
to
different.
think we had to pick one. That's over.
We don't.
You don't.
No.
But that style, what Ricky Gervais did, I don't want to take, like Lisa Kudrow is also kind of doing that flavor. Similar, like the
sure.
comeback.
You're right.
Where I call
Love
it
the
so
comeback.
humor,
Oh
where they
my
go
God.
like, and maybe I'll just take that down.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah, that
it ends
is.
with a so.
Yeah,
and
that's
Ricky
good.
Gervais is also doing like,
Yeah.
and they don't.
Like an
So,
ellipses, sort
it's an
of.
ellipses
Yeah.
humor.
Yeah. I never put that together, but yeah, that's true. Lisa
And then
does do that.
And Megan Stalter, who I love to death, is in a great
That's a
way.
funny person.
Funny lady.
Megan
She
Stalter.
took the Gervais ball, I think. And
Oh yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
people took the
well, like
Gervais
the
ball.
flubby kind of like,
Yeah.
you know.
But I think that's who she is. I don't think
Yeah.
she's doing him. I think someone like him showed how funny a person
Oh,
like that is.
Megan is doing a completely
She's doing Megan.
She's doing Megan.
She's doing Megan.
But what was I was gonna say the Emma Thompson yes of it all, but I was gonna say my favorite like hook to get into an impression is Winona Ryder and saying magnets.
Magnets?
Yeah. Because she says, she's like, obviously very soft spoken and like her eyes are huge, but she has her S's sound like very soft. And she says magnets.
Magnets.
Yeah, magnets.
Magnets.
So that's, I don't know.
I love that.
I like being Winona because she's,
Oh, it's fantastic.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's cozy.
She's
It's like
like,
it's a mug of coffee.
yeah, she's very, and she's sort of like weird. She's like very different from me. But yeah, that's how I get into announs.
That's funny. You're making, just for the fun of it, it's like Jeff Bridges' a line from Seabiscuit where he goes, I just think this horse has a lot of heart. Heart.
Oh my God.
But it's not quite right.
Wait, that's such a
and
good
then
Bridges.
Josh
I've
Rubin
heard you
does,
do him before, I
My
think.
brother Bo, which is brilliant.
You know what? And it's the tongue in cheek.
It is.
It is your literal
He has
tongue.
a bite of apple in his mouth and he's
You're
going,
so right.
I just think this horse has a lot of heart.
Oh my
Heart.
God. That's
But that's
really
not quite
very
right.
good.
Well, you know,
yeah, the
when
well.
I was Lebowski,
Yeah.
I wanted to do my thing, you know.
And he's Irish.
Oh, and Morgan Freeman is Andy Dufresne.
Oh.
Yeah, that was always my
gosh.
touchdown for him.
That's a good one for
We're
him.
just talking touchdowns.
Yeah, we're talking touchdowns.
Andy Dufresne.
That's really good. Oh,
People say Andy didn't find his way with the sisters.
oh my
not that good,
gosh,
is
that's
it?
very
It's a
good.
little- it's a
no,
little
it's
off today.
excellent. No, it's very good.
Suffice
it's
it
hard.
to say, I liked Andy right away.
It's the lower you get, it's the whisper.
It gets hard,
it
yeah.
devolves into a whisper.
It does.
You know what's the saddest thing for me in all of this is that so whenever I do an impression, I like get actively sad if I can't do it perfectly.
Same.
Like if I can't be the
And
person.
there are days where I just can't do it.
No, there are some days, and there
Yeah.
are some people that I'm like, they're so anatomically, facially, voice different from me. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
But there's so many impressions of men that I want to do, and I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Because my voice
your
can't go
face.
low enough.
Yes.
Like I just can't. I won't ever be able to do it accurately.
Yeah.
And like there are some people, some male men that I do impressions of that you can get the essence basically
Yeah,
of
yeah.
them, or like their face, or like silly things that they would say or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can never really get them,
Yeah.
and that irks me, drives me mad, makes me mental.
I'm with you because an impression is either right or wrong.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and people like John C. Reilly is coming to mind, and you can do that perfectly.
Right.
I think I did him to him once, and he was
How'd that
like
go?
very humorlessly kind of like,
I don't think that's what it sounds like. Like, to be
Meanwhile, like,
fair,
yeah.
I appreciate the effort, but I don't think that's doesn't sound like me to me.
That is so good, and he is one that I desperately wish I could do.
Oh, really?
And I've done him, but I'm not actually doing him. You know what I mean?
well, I'm leaning on the fact that my voice is deeper
Right.
than
Well,
yours.
like-
Because
He's down
right.
here, you know?
But that's
and if you go
also-
up here, he's
yeah,
Kermit.
you're Kermit.
He's like
Kermit the Frog.
And then if you go here, you're Ray Romano. Yeah.
Yeah.
which isn't quite right.
Yeah, I've also done a couple videos and this is a fun thing too, like morphing one celebrity into another. And that is actually what I did for my SNL audition.
No way.
However many years ago. But the
Still waiting to hear.
yeah, I don't think I booked it.
Oh no!
I don't think I
At least you got
booked
an audition.
it.
I mean,
I had
I'm not
an
even
audition.
kidding. That's a
Yeah.
little tip
I
of
went
the
to
cap.
Nueva York. I did the screen test. I did the whole thing.
You did?
I did.
Oh.
Yes, and I didn't get it.
Oh,
and
no.
that's okay.
You went all the way. You did the audition on the stage with
I did the audition
people
on
not
the stage
laughing in the dark?
with the people not laughing in the dark.
No,
I did.
Respect.
Yeah.
I don't care that you didn't get it. I wish you had.
It
But
was.
you did that. That's incredible.
It was really a very, very intense experience. And as like I've been obsessed with SNL since I was a little kid. Like it's obviously an extremely iconic show. So even just being there, like even just being at 30 Rock and doing the whole thing, I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done.
Wow.
But yes, extremely intimidating. Obviously.
But you did the merging impressions.
Oh yeah, I did like, I basically did just like a whole, I think I did 20 different celebrities and sort of wrote this like monologue that kind of like morphed one into the other and like basically finding little similarities and like,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
which was cool.
Wait, you talked about it while you were doing it.
Yeah, it was like, I don't even know how it started. It was like, I love doing impressions of Jennifer Coolidge. And then it was like, but when I start doing her lips, I start wanting to talk like so-and-so. And then I go into so-and-so
Very
and whatever.
cool.
Yeah, so that was fun.
How do you do
but-
Jennifer Coolidge?
Oh, hi. Yeah. Hi. Oh, hi.
I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, yeah. A lot of that. But the thing is, you know how we were saying like
couldn't
comedy
be happier.
comes in trends and waves and stuff. People
Got wise to it.
People are they're done with J. Cool's
Oh, they don't want it
impressions.
anymore. Yeah.
We love J. Cool forever. We will always love Jennifer Coolidge. She's iconic and I'm obsessed with her. But I think too many people got good at it.
Well,
You know what I
this usually
mean?
comes up when we talk with people that do impressions. It's a weird thing to steal an impression because an impression is a steal. You're stealing it from the person. But
Well, you're trying
sometimes
to be
someone
as accurate as possible to the actual person.
But they are the first little steal. But then once you
Exactly.
have it, it is kind of easy to steal it. So, I can't do it.
Right,
but then
right.
you go,
Little
you found the touchstone, you
phrases or
found the
whatever.
phrase.
Yeah.
Now I can do it. And everyone's doing it.
yeah. Well, and that's the whole thing. It's you're mimicking. And like,
Yeah.
so then people mimic you.
Once a mimic gets mimicked.
Yeah, but I'm also like, hey, I love that. And everyone's always like, how should I get into impressions? Whatever. I'm like, just do it. Just
Yeah.
like start doing it. Like,
It has
I don't know.
Wouldn't you say it has a lot to do with just believing and like, who cares? Like, I'm just going to try.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to green light
You
it.
have to put the ego aside and
Yeah.
just try. Because a lot of times people will be like, try it. And then they'll go, that was so bad. And it's like, well, and this is the thing. I will say, I do think that I do think it's literally like I inherited this ability like to mimic from like my grandfather used to like do voices and he used to like imitate bird sounds and stuff. So I really think
The
that I
mimic
was
gene.
I think I was born with like an ear for it.
Yeah, of course.
But even from 5 years ago when I started making videos until now, I've like improved. Like it's all changed and shifted. And I think because people go, do you think I could learn how to do impressions? And I'm like, truthfully, I think you can improve upon maybe an innate
Yeah.
ability.
Right.
You know what I
can
mean?
Grow it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do
I
you
think
feel
it
that
has
way?
a lot. Well, first of all, I'm flattered that you're even including me. I dabble.
Yeah. Well, it's giving Connecticut lady, Connecticut mom. I dabble. in
but,
impressions.
But I just want to give respect to a true, and we've had other trues on the show.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's like doing a card trick. You can learn how to do a card trick.
Yeah.
The real skill is to lower your heart rate and stay
Yeah.
calm while
Yeah.
you're doing it.
You're so right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the same with playing a song publicly.
Yeah.
A lot
Well,
of people can learn a
becomes-
song. You have to like get good
Yeah.
at being calm while you're playing
That's
a song.
so interesting. That's so true.
the same with stand-up.
And not like actively judging yourself as it's
Yeah.
happening.
Okay, you missed that note. Hit the next
Yeah.
note. Just
Well, and it's
stay
like
in the
singing
note.
too.
It
Yeah,
is like
exactly.
singing.
Like I am a singer as well and like grew up singing. And I think the moment you start going, oh, that I missed a note, that didn't sound good. It's like the
Yeah.
whole thing derails.
Right.
But it's also interesting because my style of impressions, like I really try to truly be as I was saying before, I get annoyed if I don't get as close to the real person as possible. But then there are other people who their style is more like a Jim Carrey style of like, it's almost like a caricature
Yeah, yeah.
of the
A
person.
boardwalk caricature,
And
yeah.
it's like you really, and it's so, it's so entertaining and it is so accurate because you're like, oh, they're it's almost taking one aspect of a person and blowing it up to, you know, huge. So that's interesting to see too, is like there are different styles within impressions that people do. And for me, I don't know, it just, I love that style. And I think there's such a place for it because it's so funny a lot of the time. But for me, it really, when someone really can just nail somebody realistically, I'm like, that really feels like a dance. Or
it's like a magic trick.
Yeah, it does feel like a magic trick. Yeah.
When Taron Killam did Brad Pitt on this podcast, I lost my mind.
He's really, really good.
And he does a great Mulaney too.
Does he?
His Mulaney is like...
I feel like I've seen that.
But he does this version of it where he goes, yeah. Which is you pitching a joke to John where he doesn't like it. And he's like, yeah. But he's thinking of something brilliant.
Sure.
Your dumb joke is just kind of in the way. And he's like, yeah.
Wow, that's very Mulaney.
It's very Trey Mulaney.
Trellaney. And that's a new word.
Trellaney. Well, let's close strong.
Great.
Have you... I feel like I could talk to you forever, and I'm enjoying this
Likewise.
very much. But thanks.
All good things come to an end.
Fuck
oh
you!
my
You got
God.
fucking shorts on. You fucking fucking
boobs floating in the fucking
boobs, fucking boobies floating like the Titanic. Kieran,
That's pretty good.
Go
That's
again. They'd
yeah,
cut that out.
Yeah,
They'd
cut
be
it
like,
out.
I was trying something.
Right. And you can't judge yourself.
Exactly. This is what we just talked about. Anything unexplainable. I'm looking for ghosts.
Yes.
I'm looking for psychics. I'm looking for UFOs. I'm looking for near death.
Yeah.
What do you got? What's weird that's happened to you?
I'll tell you of ghost experience. Well, what is it ghost? I don't know. So one day I was in my old apartment in New York I lived in Chelsea and
Brag.
It was actually right across from UCB. So comedy is
26 and 8?
always surrounded by
That's
comedy.
your Gelson's?
I was quite literally like, I could see the UCB like line from my apartment. So I would like decide whether it was too long or not.
You just gave me such nostalgia.
I saw a lot of comedy in New York.
Wow.
Anyway.
Walking past that line, going down those stairs to perform is one of the best. I think, sorry to interrupt.
I definitely think I saw you.
You must have at some point, but like, I think I even knew. I was going to say like, oh, I didn't even know. I knew. We had a feeling of like, this is magic. This is like a good scene.
Yeah.
We're in a good scene.
Never
right
any
now.
bad vibes down there.
No bad vibes.
No.
It was like a weird snowed in summer camp talent show.
Yeah.
And you would murder. Speaking of Mulaney, we talked about Whiplash. He was like that feeling when the crowd is arcing towards you like a wave, and they don't even know that you haven't said the best line yet.
Yeah.
So you have your fist and their chins towards you, and you just go, "Pow!"
What a great feeling, huh?
One of the best.
It's a high.
Yeah.
What a high. Yeah. I wish I could do a good Mulaney.
I wish I could too.
I don't think I'll ever be able to.
Yeah.
Okay, Taron can.
Taron,
and I'm going to be looking that up. Taron Killican.
I'm loving it.
Well, luckily they didn't make him say that I'm loving it part.
He didn't do it.
He might have refused. He might have been like, "That's a step too far." Yeah. He said, "Fuck off."
A bridge
probably.
too far.
A bridge too far. I almost tried to get it. A Bridges Jeff Bridges joke into there. It's a Jeff Bridges too far.
It's a me too far,
Yeah,
man.
there you go. Perfect.
Look, it's my namesake too far. I'm loving it.
Oh, I wish I could do a Bridges too.
Nuggets, man.
Maybe I'll be stealing this now that I know that it just is the tongue.
Tongue to the side. Hey, Bo, get us some McDonald's, man. I'm an old man.
Okay, the ghost.
The ghost. This has been
the ghost
madness.
at UCB adjacent apartment.
Yeah.
So I was just like laying in my bed, asleep, and I think I was actually very hungover from something. This was like in my early 20s. And I opened my eyes and turned to the right, and I had like a mirror on the wall next to my bed. And in the mirror, there was a woman standing over me, only in the mirror. And she This sounds crazy.
Nobody likes this story.
No, but you know
story.
what? I was overwhelmed with a feeling of like peace and like safety. And I felt like
Okay.
she was taking care of me.
A benevolent woman.
A benevolent woman, but she was dressed in like Civil War era. This is completely real.
And she's taking care of you?
Yes.
This lady needs help.
Okay,
She's a woman
But this is the thing, Pete.
in
Okay.
the Civil War.
I'm going to sound so insane. Okay. This is the thing. I have always felt that in a past life, I died on the battlefield, the Civil War battlefield, Union soldier. She gave me Union energy. So we feel good about her.
Big Union energy.
Big Union energy. But she was giving sort of like nurse on the battlefield or whatever, or like I knew her or she was my wife or something. And I've always felt in a past life that I was hit with like a big like musket ball thing or whatever those are called.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's how I died. And I was like, oh, she's my wife from a past life and she's watching over me. And then I closed my eyes and I was like, oh, I'm not scared of her. She was like taking care of me. And then in my head, I said, who is that? Like, who was that? Who was watching over me? Some voice was like, it's my daughter. It's my daughter and I'm Calhoun. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? This sounds crazy.
No, I'm loving it.
And then my mom was doing research for a book about the Civil War. My mom's an author. And she was writing a book about the Civil War. And she sent me a picture from a graveyard. She didn't know this story. Like 2 days later, she sent me a picture from a graveyard.
2 days later.
Yes. And I don't know where it was, but like a Civil War graveyard. And the name Calhoun was on the grave. Explain that. Isn't that crazy?
Explain that.
Explain
Turn
that.
into Chappelle.
Hi, everybody. Explain that.
How are you going to explain that?
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah, I do young Chappelle. I can't do old
Okay.
Chappelle.
You know,
That's my touchstone for
That's
Chappelle.
something that's fun too, is people as they age, they're different.
Well,
But
Kenan
anyway,
Thompson did old Chappelle or current Chappelle, and he was so good. Anyway, I just I
amazing.
want to give
Isn't that
respect
fascinating?
to that story.
Yeah,
That's one of the
weird.
best ones ever.
It's weird.
That's Calhoun. I'm Calhoun, and that's my
Calhoun,
daughter.
I'm Calhoun, and that's my daughter. And I was like, sick. She's watching over me. And I felt like she was, I don't know, my wife from a past life or something, or my sister, like someone who was like taking care of me. I guess because I was hungover.
She doesn't know.
She was like,
She just saw
she's
sweating.
like, I was gonna say she wants to pat my forehead. Yeah. So she was watching over me.
Back then,
I call her my Civil War ghost.
and you haven't seen her since?
No.
Yikes.
I know.
Although, okay, to throw a monkey wrench, if Calhoun was a soldier and that's his daughter, why would she be wearing Civil War garb?
I guess what I was saying was she was wearing Civil War era garb.
Oh, not a uniform.
No, she was wearing like a dress. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Usher writing a song? Yeah.
Yeah. It's perfect. Write that down. That was a moment, I will say, that made me kind of go, all right,
What is this?
what is this?
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I've always felt like I did die in the Civil War in a past life.
Yeah, why not?
So it kind of was affirming for me, to be honest. Why not?
I mean, I hear my father's voice going, more Americans died in the Civil War than all other wars combined.
Really?
But it's true, I think. It might not be true because both sides were American.
Oh, true.
So it's everybody.
Yeah, it's everybody.
everybody.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's
Bad.
too bad.
That's too bad.
That's too bad. And that's my take on the Civil War. That was too bad.
And now our honorary speaker here at the cemetery at Gettysburg to speak on the tragedies of these times. Please welcome Poet Laureate Mary Elizabeth Kelly. Mary?
Yeah. It was too bad.
She appears to be done.
And that's it.
I'm spilling over
four
papers.
score and 7 up tens
years
ago.
Callback of the century.
Lincoln quote.
Best callback of 2025. I'm going to call it.
Wow.
And Lisa Gilroy was 2 days ago. So.
Oh my gosh. Thank God I'm after her.
Thank God.
'Cause
No
she's-
BB. She's so good.
She's so good.
She's so fun. So were you.
Great person. Great people.
Great people. Good
Great people.
Love the Groundlings. Beautiful show. They'd get a suggestion.
Oh no, we can't end on Trump.
No.
Drew Barrymore. We'll end on her.
Drew, what did you think of 7-Up 10?
Only 10 calories. Amazing.
Wow.
10 grams of sugar. Or I don't know. No,
That would
10
be-
calories.
10 grams of sugar would be regular 7-Up.
Regular soda.
Actually, that's not
No,
true.
probably more like 30.
Like 30, yeah. Welcome to LA, baby. We both knew how many grams of sugar in a Coke. Tell me you live in LA, but don't tell me you live in LA.
Yeah.
It's 33, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking nuts. But it's so good when you have a tummy ache.
Oh my God, I love a Coke.
Go to coca-cola.com/stereotypes.
But.
Mary, do you like the full? Mary Elizabeth?
Doesn't matter to me. My family calls me Mary Liz, Mary Elizabeth.
All right. I went right to the family, Mary Liz.
We're fam.
Thank you for doing it.
Thank you for doing it.
Would you say keep it crispy? It's how we end. You don't have to say it in a voice. Let's just hear it in your regular. Or you want to?
Thank you. No, that's
I thought
refreshing.
You were upset at.
Keep it
just say
crispy.
keep it crispy in your regular Mary Liz voice.
Keep it crispy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You made it weird. You made it weird.